my wife was angry at my overgrown hair. I know I'm talking over the intro. I get it.
No one cares. It's fine. Hello and welcome to JabberJaw. I'm your host, Jessica Dawson Collier, and with me as always is Tyson Wheeler-Dynas and Matthew David Smith. Guys, welcome.
Hi.
Hello. Feel free to call me Chopper if you'd like. It's fine.
Chopper.
All right, out of the gate, Tyson, you have to tell everybody that story. And I would like your permission to post that picture so they know it's a true story.
That's fine. Yeah, no.
Okay,
I started. I had a whoopsie in my spine about 6 weeks ago, maybe, and I had to go to the hospital. And then they did something called lacanectomy, which is where they basically what happens is your bones in your spine start to curve in and tighten in on the nerves on the back of your thing, on your spinal cord. Anyway, I went to see They Might Be Giants. I stood in the same place for 6 hours. Great show. Wouldn't missed it for the world. Might have missed it if I would have known I'd had to get surgery, but you never know. Anyway, it was great. They were great. Fantastic. They're always great. After about a week of that, I literally couldn't stand anymore. And so I called my regular doctor and I said, last time this happened, I took gabapentin. That really helped me. Gabapentin, I think originally was it's one of those drugs that was not meant to kill, receptors in your pain receptors, but that's what it does. It's a side effect.
Mhm.
So they rebranded it. Anyway, so I called her and I was like, give me a bunch of those. And she's like, okay. All right. Because I love me and my doctor, we have an agreement. And so, hey, I've been really unfocused. Could I get some fucking ADHD medicine? No. Anyway, that doesn't happen anymore. I do miss that doctor though. Anyway, so she sent me this stuff, and then like one day I stood out of bed and then I fell down and back onto the bed. That's like, you're going to the hospital. So anyway, I went to the hospital. They I got there on Wednesday. I was in a lot of pain. They gave me fentanyl. They gave me all kinds of weird like stuff that it sounded like street drugs. Really, I didn't know what was going on.
Did they
But
bring you like a menu, or like did you have
well,
any?
Yeah.
what happened was the fentanyl made me scratch
So I'd like
myself
to go.
like crazy, and so they moved to some other different stuff. Whatever. Anyway, so I was in the hospital from Wednesday until Saturday, and Thursday they were like, I think we can fit you in. We're going to go ahead and do the surgery. Did the surgery. Wow, this is a long lead up to the point that you asked me about. Sorry, Doss. Anyway, so anyway,
What was that, by the way?
it's coming.
It's coming. Promise me.
I still remember.
Stay with us.
I still remember. So anyway, so they so they fit me in on Friday night, and they knocked out about 5 or 6 pieces of bone uh, uh, at the base of my let's call it a back, and so anyway they did that, and the next day I was still feeling really good from all the oh okay, here's 2 things. Okay, anyway, so I felt really good. So I passed all the PT things, and then I was able to leave that day.
Mhm.
But I really shouldn't have passed those things because I was still riding the thing. So when I got home, it was
Uh-huh.
awful. But I'd still rather be at home and awful than at a hotel, at a hospital, and not feeling that great. So anyway,
At a medical hotel.
yeah, medical hotel. Yeah,
Okay, fast forward to this last week because I know the audience wants to hear about this Chopper thing. Like, where did Chopper come from?
I don't know. I think actually Chopper was the name of a biker in a Mystery Science Theater episode that I watched.
That makes sense.
Anyway, you have to fill out a little thing when you go in. I started physical therapy, and I uh, I filled out all the stuff, and then they're like preferred name, and I wrote Chopper. And I was like, because in my brain, I was like, nobody reads this shit. Who gives a fuck? You know, I was like, I'm signing 40,
I laughed so fucking
I did
hard when
too.
you sent that to
Yeah.
us. I was
40
like, this is
documents.
classic Tyson.
So I'm sitting in the waiting room waiting for somebody, and this woman comes out and she goes, "Chopper, are you here?" And I was like, "Yeah, I am." Uh, so
Oh,
I'm called
that's
Chopper
the payoff.
at the PT place. Yeah, that's the payoff. So anyway, yeah, it was long.
Wow.
It was a long kite on that tail, but yeah, that's where you get to the point.
Wow.
Anyway, so I'm called Chopper there. It's great, and
It's a great nickname.
yeah,
It works.
I know. All right, yeah. Anyway, so I'm
Normally,
doing.
I say follow the rules that you are not allowed to give yourself a nickname. Like you can never present a group of friends with like, "Hey, could you guys call me, X now?" And because that's not, you can't do that. That's not. But I will say in this rare instance, this is an acceptable way to give yourself a nickname.
It
I think
is.
so too. For
Because I
sure.
don't. So
Yeah, I
welcome,
encourage.
welcome aboard, Chopper.
Yeah,
It's
I mean, I
good to have
encourage.
you.
I encourage everyone to do that because there was no questions. They were just like, "Oh, Chopper, all right, come on in," and
Love it. I love it.
Then you can be
It just
like,
leaned
"No,
in.
Chopper owes this hospital $4,500." See if that works. It's always a good. It's really actually a good idea anyway to develop an alias in today's healthcare system. So yeah,
that you're
Yeah,
not,
for sure.
you are not wrong. I mean, I think we talked last week or the last time we did this about my many aliases from the
the record
BMG.
clubs.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
Yeah.
yes.
I was
Yeah.
like, why not? Let's just add one more to the pile. Like so.
Chopper.
Okay,
Oh, it's good.
and before I forget, I just want to tell this one story, and then we're going to get into Dawson's 40th birthday because I have many questions. But
Oh boy.
uh, it's just so stupid. But I went to McDonald's last week to get lunch, and I don't
Uh-huh.
know if you noticed, McDonald's is doing a Grimace shake now because it's Grimace's birthday party. Have you guys seen this?
I have seen this whole like sort of the atmosphere of the world. I've sort of like absorbed some of this stuff about the Grimace shake, and there's a whole tick. So I've like kept it at a distance. Like I know something's going on,
Yeah.
but I haven't looked directly at it. So
I was in the.
allow me to
Even
look directly
like
at it.
I was,
knockoff memes of like Grimace
Yes.
butt plugs that are like included in the Happy Meal.
okay.
Sorry, Smith.
I've not done even that much research. But this is what happened.
They look cute.
It looked cute. I'm sure it looked cute. He is a butt plug shape. You're right.
Yeah, really.
He really is. Oh, sorry, mom and dad. I've never used a butt plug. Anyway, but
Grimace.
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 So I was in the drive-through. I'd ordered my food. I pulled up to the first window where you pay the money in McDonald's, and she goes, I go, hey, out of curiosity, how old is Grimace? It's his birthday, right? And she goes, I don't know. Let me go get my manager. I'm like, no.
Oh my god.
So she goes and gets her manager. The manager comes to the window, and she's like, what do you want to know? And I'm like, and I said, I was just curious how old Grimace is. And
Tyson.
no, I don't know. And I'm like, well, I don't need to know. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. And that was it. So I felt instantly,
Oh my
I felt,
god.
I felt instantly entertained and terrible at the same time. It was this wonderful emotion.
That is like a shortcoming of an employee handbook, like coming to life. Like, if you
For
don't
real.
know the answer to a question, ask a manager immediately.
That's right.
No matter how stupid. Oh, that's funny.
Literally, she was like, "Let me go ask my manager." I was like, "No, no, 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 no," and she was like, she was already gone. And the manager,
Oh, wow.
I was like, okay,
That's adorable.
Yeah.
It really is.
all right. That's I wanted to drop that into the conversation. Anyway, so
And actually, Grimace is
hilarious.
52
years old, by the way.
He's 52.
Wow.
He's 52. Yeah. So
There you go, Grimace.
He can actually apply for AARP, which I have.
Yeah, he's a couple years
there
in.
you go.
Probably getting
There you
flyers for 7. He's probably got the luggage.
Probably.
Love an awfully nice luggage set that they like just keep promoting the shit out of. Just
I like the idea that 2 years ago Grimace got a company watch.
Excuse me.
Thank you for 50 years of service at McDonald's. I like
that. Silver.
Somebody's gonna take that at Antiques Roadshow, and they're gonna be like, "Well, Grimace was a very important part of the Happy Meal Society." Anyway, I've been watching a lot of Antiques Roadshow. Anyway,
and it was and I'm forgetting his name. Was always a little fun factoid about that era of McDonald's. Was the original Ronald McDonald was played by that weatherman guy,
by Willard Scott.
Willard Scott, yes.
He was the
original. Was the original Ronald McDonald, yeah.
Actually, you're almost correct. He wasn't the original Ronald McDonald. He was the original Bozo the Clown.
Oh, really?
I'm gonna have to ask the producers to.
All right, we'll have our producers look into that.
That's gonna take a minute because they suck.
But I do believe that's correct. I believe he was the original Bozo the Clown. But maybe he was the original Ronald McDonald. I don't know. He seems a little heavy to be.
Smith's producers are on it.
They are. I believe that the first person to portray Ronald on television was Willard Scott.
Oh my goodness!
Oh,
I didn't know that.
I don't know. It could be Wikipedia and its filthy, filthy lies, but no. I could have gone either way. I'm a big Bozo fan too, so yeah, there was a.
Did you guys watch Bozo? Did you watch WGN in the morning before you went to school? Like every morning?
Oh, absolutely! Like I loved the grand prize game. That was my favorite. Like where Dawson, this might have sort of.
This is probably before her time. Yeah.
This is one of those.
I just turned 40, but still.
Right. That's how I define Generation X and Y. Is do you know the Bozo the Clown show? If so, then X.
You're not wrong, Matt.
It's funny because I don't remember like anything other than the game though, and for those that are younger than 40, it was basically there were like 6 buckets in a row. This is what we did before kids had iPads, by the way.
That's correct.
6 buckets. We didn't even play. We watched other kids play this game. 6 buckets in a row. They were like lengthwise, and you would toss a ping pong ball. And so if you got the first bucket, correct me if I'm wrong, this is my recollection.
No, you're
first
absolutely
bucket,
correct.
You got something. Second bucket, you got a prize. Third bucket. And then if you managed to make it to the 6th bucket, then you won the grand prize.
Usually a bike.
Almost always a bike. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't remember anything, but I think that was like the highlight of the show. Like that was for all the marbles. And what was the rest of the show consist of?
Well, okay, so like he did crowd work, which is kind of hilarious. Like when a clown does crowd work with children, that's horrifying. Anyway, but he was
like warming them up.
Yeah. He was like, "Come on, kids, aren't you excited?"
We call that grooming now, but back then, warming them up.
Well, they would do interstitial cartoons. So he would be like, "Hey kids, blah blah blah, it's time for whatever," and then he'd be like, "After this cartoon," and it would be some.
That's right. Okay.
And it would be some cartoon that like none of the major studios owned anymore. So like Dr. like Jekyll and Heckle.
RKO presents,
exactly. Silly Symphonies, like they would play cartoons, but the Grand Prize game was definitely the major thing. And I've thought a lot about this because, well, what made me think about this was beer pong.
I think it's very similar. It probably is the birthplace.
the
Right?
thing is so
Yeah.
like if you just had a cup, right, and you just had so there were 6 cups in a row, and
Yeah.
you tossed a ping pong ball into a cup. If there was no sponge or something in that cup, that ping pong ball would just bounce right the fuck out, right?
Right. Right.
So they must have had it set up so whatever. I just on a side note, sometimes they would give away GI Joe toys, and I was like, oh my god, that's so awesome. Anyway, but yeah, no, it was yeah, no, the grand prize game. It was right before it was time to go to school. They staggered it, so it was like at 7:45. And that's when you got to watch the grand prize game, and then Bozo would be pretty nice to people, especially the people that missed the very first one. If you missed the
Mhm.
very first one,
Yeah, because it was
that
really basically like dropping it. I mean, it
pretty
was,
much, it
yeah,
was like,
it was,
Uh,
yeah, right,
yeah, what was it, anyway.
right. Uh,
Yeah,
so
and then
yes,
do you remember Cookie the clown? Do you remember? He was his sidekick.
vaguely.
Yeah, I'm a little bit older than both of you. Yeah, Cookie the clown was his comedic foil. Um, and
Good
yeah,
to have one of those.
yeah, but he had like red hair and a bunch of freckles painted on his face. He looked like kind of the way that like if you watch Telemundo and they have a
Okay, sure.
funny
Yes,
they have a
yes,
funny guy,
right, yes,
yeah,
right,
sure.
yeah,
right,
he was very much Cookie the Clown was very much
right,
that guy,
right. Of course, I'm thinking of Telemundo as referenced by Arrested Development, but I think that's getting
yeah.
close
No,
Yeah,
you're
enough.
right.
that
So,
still
You're
works.
yeah,
I
exactly
feel
yeah,
right.
like it
So
works.
that's exactly
yeah.
what I'm talking about. Yeah, yeah. So, I did. I think that well, it was. I will say that when someone won all 6 of the grand prize game, it made my day at school better. I don't know why. It just
Really?
made me
Yeah.
happy. Yeah, it really did. Like so.
It looks like Jungian philosophy of like sort of everything's okay with the world, and you
Exactly.
felt it like
Uh,
like
uh,
pre-recorded, yeah, television
this was
shows.
not
It's
a
like,
hard game, Dawson. By the way, it was like like 6 cups about 6 feet in front of you. I mean, you should be able to.
You should be able to nail it. Yeah.
Yeah, but
yeah,
most kids didn't because they hadn't
because they
almost.
were children.
Yeah, they didn't have any motor skills that were up to par. Like normal.
Oh, poor things.
I know.
Sad. The
Dawson,
pressure too.
you turned 40, isn't that correct?
Yep.
Yay!
Welcome to the fucking club.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you. It's been real fun saying that too in meetings since I got back. They're like, "What the hell? You don't look 40." Blah. And I'm like half of them are. The other half are like, you kind of look 40. They're just not saying anything. I'm like, all right, I appreciate both sides. It's fine.
I think the only like sort of legal or cultural significance to turning 40 is that's like when I think most grocery and convenience stores like that was the threshold where they should ask like they must look at least 40. So it's a very important one. So I like let that be your sort of your bellwether. It's like, if
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I
I
actually,
feel like I have more respect in the grocery stores now.
yeah,
This past week.
she just like a knowing wink from the cashier. Oh yeah. You're good, girl. You're good.
Yep.
We're all good.
also,
Don't bother taking that ID out ever again.
also when you turn 40, and this persists as soon as you go past 40, when you turn 40, inevitably some asshole will say, well, 40 is the new 30.
Oh, that has been said.
It hasn't been.
By,
Yeah, I'm
yes.
sure, right?
Yeah.
It's so
Yeah.
annoying. I'm like,
By some drunk gentlemen starting in Tulum. Yes.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. Well, that's
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah.
did you make a lot of contacts? Did you find any hires?
So many contacts.
Oh, I
Nice. Oh boy.
Really? So
got-
you can basically expense the whole thing then.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's like,
Already wrote it off.
there you
We're
go.
good. Yep. When's the next vacation? Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
shenanigans. Total shenanigans. It was
Yeah.
good though.
Well, it was funny. Like you were sending pictures, like the first 2 days, and then nothing on the 4th day. And I was like, oh no, what happened? Did she go off site?
The drama. No,
You
we
did
did
say-
not go off site.
You did say there was drama, and so both Matt and
There
I
was
Both ways, and
Yes,
I
there was
assumed there would be
drama.
drama. You know, it's
Yes, but not as much as I anticipated, just given the crowd that was
Yeah,
going,
that's good.
which,
That's good.
that's good. Yeah.
like, we all know and love our tall friend Sarah Glassman, who was there, in all her glory. And then our friend Ryan from New York was there, who's lovely. Our friend John from, well, he lives in London, but we all met in New York. And then our friend Audrey in New York. And then my friend Laura from California, who I also met in New York. So it was like a whole New York thing going on. And Jonas and I, and we just, I don't know, we had a great time. Like everybody came in on Sunday. Laura came in on Saturday. So we kind of had like a semi chill night, I would say, on Saturday. Then Sunday is when we started getting rowdy. And like, there was a tequila bar there at the resort. And we were constantly, like, every day, Jonas was like dropping a 20 there. And like, they were making whatever we wanted, getting us tequila
Now,
shots. It
did you
was
do
like,
sort of like an all-inclusive thing? Is that
yes.
the okay?
Yeah,
I've
but
never.
So
but Matt,
we,
but the thing is though, if you tip them well, they will take care of you with the best stuff for the
oh,
rest of the day.
for sure. Yeah, that's
That's it.
exactly it. Yeah, it was perfect. So we stayed at this place called the Catalonia Royal in Tulum, and it was really nice. Jonas has been there multiple times before.
Oh,
It you literally like you pull in, the welcome center is pretty big, but then you walk through the jungle to get to your actual hotel
Oh,
room,
that's cool.
and then you have to walk across this bridge, and you're still walking in the jungle, and then it opens up into the pool area with like all of the restaurants and the spa, and then you walk a little further and the ocean is right there. So it was great. Like it was very humid, it was very hot, we had some stormy weather a little bit, but yeah, I mean, and every night that we were there they had a theme night. So like on my birthday they had karaoke, which was great. I will say props to Glassman because she definitely was pissed off when we walked up there. They had already taken enough, song requests. So they were like,
oh.
nope, sorry, you missed the boat. She wasn't having it. So she went
Yeah,
over
I
to
believe
the
that.
tequila
Yeah.
bar, you
Oh
know,
God, yes, yes. There will
and
be.
she took
Yeah.
there will be blood.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh boy. So she took a couple shots, went up to the guy who was running it. And she's like, I got us in. No problem. I knew whatever. And so we sang Bohemian Rhapsody, which was great. And then and before that, we went to this really cool restaurant and they had dancers, like crazy. Like it wasn't like Cirque du Soleil, but it was like sexy Cirque du Soleil. They were like up on the ropes. They were like intertwined like this, doing all kinds of stuff while we were having dinner. It was really nice. It was kind of like
That
a
does make Cirque
crazy.
du Soleil better. I
Yeah,
It
mean,
does.
yeah.
absolutely.
It
Yeah.
does. Yeah,
You know.
I enjoyed it. It was a great, entertaining piece to our meal. Yeah,
Wow,
lots
that's
of
like
fun.
super fancy Casa Bonita.
Yeah,
It
That's
exactly.
like
was.
Yeah.
really
It
up in
really
the
was.
yeah.
It was like Casa Bonita with better dancing, better looking people, and better food, and lighting. And
Just
that was
basically
super fun.
everything was
Just
Yeah.
better.
everything. We definitely got kicked out of the ocean every night. On my birthday, there was a full moon, and so we decided, like, hey, let's go to the ocean. And I mean, literally every night, flashlights on us, get out of the ocean.
So
Like,
how do they kick you out of the ocean?
Well, okay, I'll tell you. Okay, I have a little bit
here's
of
the thing.
It's
experience.
the ocean.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
would.
just
That's where people get kidnapped and get fucking. Like that's the deal, right? So like everyone.
Well, it was less that ties that like I
I'm
don't want to freak
sorry.
my mother out, but that is not that wasn't it there. It was more or less like, "Hey, don't be a drunk idiot getting in the ocean
Well, that's
past
fair. Yeah.
the time you're supposed to be in
so
it."
there's like
They had
hours, the
yeah, there
like
are hours, and they
beach
had
hours.
security
Okay.
guards out there, chilling, but we were, like, running up, running into the ocean, like, belly flopping into it, and then they were like, "Get out!" And then we,
Okay.
like, pretend to get out, get back in. Like, it was one of those things. It was
Yeah.
I
childish.
just thought like
I mean,
they're like we'd be like Caribbean pirates out there. They'd be like, "Hey, get in here! It's past curfew." But
I've
I
I've been
get it now. So that's beach access. It's kind of like yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I've been to
yeah.
the I've been to Mexico a few years ago. We went to a resort, and I was surprised at how many signs it says "Please do not pee in the ocean." It's crazy.
Oh yeah, there were definitely a couple signs that we saw. But of course, some of us did. I won't name names.
You can pee in the ocean. It's fine.
I know
All
it is
all the
fine.
animals do it.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
just can't pee in the pool, which
right. Yeah,
Right.
I have to
Right.
say again
Right.
to some of the people in our group. Um,
No.
look, that's why there's
again,
no. That's why
no
all.
names.
That's why there's all that chlorine in there. I mean, if you're, did you guys
It's
have
true.
one of the? Did you have one of those bars that you just? I think I saw a picture of it.
There
You
was a
just
Swim
swim
swim.
up
up,
You
swim
bar.
throw
up
a
bar.
bar.
Yes, very
Oh
That
my
nice.
is
god,
actually a plug of mine this week. Swim up bars. If you have a
Bars.
resort, you must have a swim
fantastic,
up bar at the pool.
fantastic.
Fucking
Yeah,
great, right? Like the best.
fantastic.
Literally, you have to have it.
Yeah.
It was a whole scene the last night we were there because they had the glow pool party. So they were like painting our faces and, and like doing all this stuff. They had bottles on top of the pull up pool bar and they were just pouring shit in your mouth. Like it was nuts. That night, lots of things went down. Some things I'll say, some things I won't. But it was great. It was so fun. It was like the perfect
How
last night.
crowded was it? Like how busy was the resort? I'm just kind of like, was it
It They said they were at full capacity because when John got in on Sunday night, he said that he got one of the last rooms.
okay?
Mm.
But it didn't ever feel crowded. Like
Okay,
it
that's
still
cool.
felt like we could swim if we wanted to in the ocean or the pool. We never had a problem getting a reservation at any of the restaurants. Yeah, it was pretty chill overall. But it was adults only too. So like there were no kids running around.
Yeah,
Like I love kids, don't get me wrong, but it was one of those things where I was like,
time and place for
I
children.
can't
Yeah,
not. Yeah, I want to have adult fun, and we
yeah.
did, and it was great. So yeah,
Did you smoke any good cigars while you're there? Because that's a big thing.
no, but there was a gentleman who came up to me, his at the glow pool party, and he asked me if I smoked weed, and I was like, occasionally, and he's like, you want to smoke some tonight? And I was like, no, I'm good. And like his wife is like twerking up on one of the platforms while he's asking me this stuff. And he was like, what about cigars? And I was like, no, I'm good. And he's like, he's like, what about you hang out with me and my wife? And I'm like, nope, my husband's right over there. Bye. Yeah, it was stuff like that that continued to happen all
Hmm.
night to most of us. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you guys went to a swingers resort. Sorry, I don't know if you guys
I
realize that.
mean, it kind of seemed like that, honestly, because there are definitely like we made some friends. Like I think Patricia will listen to this, but Patricia and Sean, they were fucking cool. Like they were taking shots with us. They were, I would say, like resort hogs. Like they do this all the time, all year round, and they have like really good opinions about what resorts we should go to next versus not. Like their opinion of the resort we were at, which was kind of like. At one point Patricia said, I feel like they're catering to white people. And I was like, oh shit, really? And then he named a couple of instances, and I was like, yeah, that sucks. So that part, not so great. But the globe pool party was really funny.
Now,
I can't wait. I
how
can't
like
wait for us to get together and then I can tell you all of the details.
scandal? This scandal,
There's
not
a lot
fit
of
for
scandal.
broadcast.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
How
I just
protected from the outside world did you like were you like how isolated did it feel? Like was it like Jurassic Park? Was it like could you just like leave anytime you wanted to? Like I've always
Well,
been curious about like because they always say like stay on the resort, because like there's
yeah.
parts of Mexico that can be very
Yeah,
dangerous.
well,
they're
okay,
not great. Yeah. And
yeah,
and so when we landed in Cancun and we were on our way to the resort, which was like 90 minutes away in Tulum, all along the highway there is resort after resort after resort, which I
Really,
wasn't expecting. Yeah.
yeah,
I would
And
not
yeah,
either.
different levels of resorts.
yeah,
Like there's
yeah.
this gigantic Nickelodeon resort
What
like
in
between
Mexico?
in Mexico, Smith. Like you guys have to look it up. It's the craziest shit ever. I was like, if any little kids saw that out the window, they'd be like, we're going there next year. I mean, it looked insane. And then, it's like really like 5-star resort, 2-star resort,
Right.
5-star resort. It goes like
Okay.
that forever. And so when we pulled into our resort, I felt fine. Like I felt safe the whole time. I never felt like, it was I felt it like it was secluded enough to where we could just have fun and we didn't have to
Right.
worry about anything.
Right.
But they did have shuttles to take you to excursions. Like if you wanted to go rent a boat and do something like go fishing or, go swim with whale sharks or whatever the fuck, like you could do that stuff. That it was available, but I mean, I promised my parents we would not leave the resort, and we did not.
Yeah.
So
Interesting.
you're welcome, Mom.
Oh, well, that's so sweet of you.
Yes.
When we went to Cancun several years ago, mom and dad Sally, who was pregnant at the time, so she did not have the best time in the world.
Oh, that sucks.
And Dustin and me and Beth, and they had this thing. I don't know if you had this in your room, but they basically had this thing where it was like 6 liquor bottles uh, mounted against the wall, and you could just push a little button, and then
Oh, nice.
So it's like the shampoo dispensers in the shower, but
it
it was
was.
liquor.
Yeah.
You basically had 6 different liquors, and if you went downstairs for some reason and came back up, they were all restocked. I mean, it was.
Oh, wow. Where did you guys stay at?
I don't know what's the opposite of Alcohol Anonymous. But anyway, I don't know. I'm not entirely sure where we stayed, but it was nuts. It was like just booze, and like you said, that was very smart, John, to give him a $20
Yeah.
top of the day, because you'll get the top. I mean, Don Julio, you'll get the top shelf stuff,
Yeah.
because
Yeah. We had Don Julio Reposado like pretty much the entire time.
yeah.
So, but I will say last night we were there. Glassman and I kept going up for so many tequila shots, and it was this guy's last night, and we tipped him, but he was like cleaning up, and we were like, "One more shot." You know how we get, whatever. And he was literally like, we were hanging out outside the bar to see if he'd do one more after the one more, and he literally got his spray gun and sprayed us away, like to get the fuck out.
That is awesome. That if I could see some
Yeah.
video of that, that would be the best thing
I
in the world.
wish there. I mean, there might be video.
It
Who
was like,
knows?
get
But
the fuck
yeah,
away from me.
yeah. Seriously, he was like, "Fuck." He was like, "Fuck off!" Like, go to the pool bar. Like, he was laughing the whole time, but he was like, "Seriously, I gotta clean." And we were like, "All right." So yeah.
Yeah,
Whoops. It was
Mexico.
fun.
Yeah, I think when we were there, we did a little excursion, but there was a big like sort of mall, basically 2 blocks down, so we didn't have to actually get out and do a thing. But
Oh, that's nice.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was nice. But yeah, they did not like us in the ocean. After night was over, it was like, get the fuck out of here. Like, and they were talking about it for safety reasons. I know part of that is because of riptides. If you get sucked into a riptide,
Well, the riptide is
Yeah.
a thing, and they definitely said that. There was one night, I guess it was actually my birthday night. Glassman and I were at the tequila bar, and Jonas and John came up and they were holding hands and they were pretending like they went and made out by the beach. But apparently, they had just seen a sea turtle was laying its eggs, and
oh
they
wow,
had
Oh,
flashlights
that's
all
cool.
around. Yeah, so they got to see that, which was kind of badass.
it's very cool.
I don't know. Yeah, little cool moments like that happened in the midst of the debauchery, which is what
Powerful
I
moments.
wanted. That's all I wanted. I just wanted like sun, friends, fun, limited drama, and I think we achieved that.
But I
Honestly,
mean,
there was like no fights. Like there were a couple times where like people got pissy. Like Glassman made Ryan do this like on the 4th of July. They kept doing all these games by the pool. And so they had this one game that was called Avenger 2023. And so they were picking people out of the crowd to participate and win a prize. And Glassman pushed him and told this really sweet girl who was like one of the folks that was working the resort, Ryan will do this. And so she picked, and she was adorable. Like you guys would have been following her around like puppy dogs. Like that's how every guy was, because she was just gorgeous. And so, and Ryan's gay, but he was still like enamored with her. Like that's how pretty she was. So he's like, okay, fine. But while he's swimming up, he's like, fuck you, Glassman, like all this stuff to her. And she is laughing. Like this is their relationship. And so he does it. Like he does this game. Like you have to do flippy cup, and then once you do it, like you dive into the pool. You have to swim to a duck, get up on the platform, do push-ups, get on the duck, swim across the pool, and then you had to throw a football to this guy who was in the pool through a hoop. And you had 3 tries, and you had to make it at least once, and make it at least once. And so Ryan, unbeknownst, like he killed it. He fucking won. He became like Avenger 2023 out of like 15 meatheads. It was crazy. I mean, it was like when he dove in, I was like, holy shit. Ryan, like, he knows how to swim really well.
He redirected that rage towards glass
he
when
did.
it turned something.
Oh, big time.
He's like,
Yeah,
I'll fucking
totally
show
did.
you.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, poor guy. He like busted his knee doing it, but he did. When he won, like, and he came over to us and he's like smoking a cigarette. He's like, he was shaking because of the adrenaline. And Glassman was trying to be nice to him at that point, and he was just like, not yet. Not fucking yet. Oh, it's great. Wish you guys could have been there, but yeah, we had your spirits there for sure.
Spirit was there.
Yeah. It's the drama. It's you know, like you know, it's drama. I don't know. But I know you love the drama, sweetie.
I do. I mean,
I know you
I'm
do.
a child. I'm a child of divorce, Tyson. So
I know you.
Mom's gonna hate that. Sorry, Mom.
We just look at our shoes. We just look at our shoes. And like,
Matt and I talked about it because Matt and I were like, man, it would be so fun to go. And then Matt and I are like, well, when shit got weird, we would just be hanging out with each other, like, like just kind of avoiding the drama, I guess, a little bit.
Well, Jonas would have been hanging out with
that's
you.
True. Yeah.
He definitely was a good sport with like all of the craziness going on.
Oh, sure.
I mean, yeah, it was, you know, us girls, and then there's Audrey, who can be very like prim and proper, or she can be like us. And so the low pool party, she was, drank the Kool-Aid finally.
You know, here's the deal that I noticed about like a swim up, and I've been to 2 resorts now that you have a swim up bar, right?
Yeah.
That is just an excuse to start drinking at 9 a.m.
It is.
You're like,
is it not? Yeah.
No, it's not. You're like, well, I'm in the pool, and I got up. I'm in the pool, and then you're like, well, like fucking margarita sounds pretty good. You know,
that was my train of thought every morning, Tyson. Like we would like wake up after sleeping in, go to the buffet, put some fuel in us for the rest of the afternoon, and then get a beer or get a mimosa or a margarita. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah. It's super fun, by the way. Like
it's so fun. Yeah. Like
if you've
it.
never done it, you absolutely have to do it because it's so weird and funny and
it's weird. So weird.
But everybody
Smith, have you done a resort yet?
I've never.
Have you and Kathy?
No, we have not. I've never been to Mexico. Like,
all right, highly recommend. You guys should seriously make some plans.
Silly question, but how is the food being
delicious?
So like where I stayed, they had like 4 different like high end restaurants there.
Yep.
I mean,
we had like 5 or 6. Yeah.
So like it ends up that the food is great. You know,
okay.
But
as far as like because I love Mexican food, obviously. So are there a variety of yes.
Well, I mean, I think the place where they had sushi, they had
they had like a steakhouse too at ours, and like a Japanese and Italian. But for the most part, like there were 3 Mexican focused restaurants, and all of them were good.
Okay,
awesome.
Like, Yeah, no, it's fun. Yeah, maybe the 3 of us and our respective others can try it.
I would love that. That would be
awesome.
amazing, actually. Yeah,
that
would be super fun.
It is fun. You can do whatever you want to do. I don't want to tell this story, but I'm not going to. But anyway,
what story?
I can't. That's so embarrassing. But okay, all right. I'll tell you guys after the show.
We've broken this ground before, Tyson. So
no.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I'll tell you guys I'll tell you the story after the show. But anyway, it happened at one of these restaurants. Anyway.
Oh shit. Okay. Did you get Montezuma's revenge?
No, this is way worse. Anyway,
Okay.
but way worse.
Okay.
I
No.
know, I know who listens to this podcast, and that's exactly why I'm not going to tell this story.
All right,
Okay,
very good.
that's
Very
fair.
good.
That's
Okay,
fair. All right.
So, yeah,
All right.
but anyway, by the way, happy birthday.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Happy
Thank you, guys.
welcome to
Yes, thank you.
the
You
club.
don't
Yeah.
look. 40 is the new 28, and you look 29. So there you go.
Thank you. Someone's getting a Christmas present this year.
You know what? By the way, and people might not know this, but probably everyone who listens to the show, Dawson is the queen of letterpress, excellent,
Oh, cards,
cards. Yeah,
stationery. Yeah.
like really good. Like I'll drop a fucking email, from ecards.com, and and I'll get something from Dawson, and it's like, should I frame this? Jesus.
It's very nice. Yes.
Yeah, it is
Thank
nice.
you.
It's very
Well,
nice.
I try, like, you should. I mean, I don't want to get into that whole design thing. I feel like Smith, you too, Tyson, you share a certain aesthetic when it comes to that stuff. Like, you should put a little more effort into the card giving than just like a Hallmark, like
Agreed.
99-cent piece of shit,
Yeah.
Absolutely. Agreed.
Yeah.
Totally. But anyway, just props.
And I did get some great cards. So thank you to everyone who gave me cards and shit. I love it. I love it all. It's a great birthday. Happy to be here. Happy to be alive.
And
To be
just
alive.
Matt, you were babysitting like forever, weren't you?
For 4 days. I think it was
I
4 days.
him about that before the show.
Yeah, no, we
Like great kid.
our friends the Campbells. They have a couple sons who are the same boys that we went to camping with 3 weeks ago, I think. But anyway, we Leo and Sam. Leo's 8, Sam is 5, and they are like perfect children. They're like incredibly well behaved. You could not. They have 95 percentile. Like those kids. Like I remember because like this tells me I'm like, oh shit, what if I ever had children and they weren't like this? It'd be a problem. They're perfect, but they're still incredibly exhausting because
Oh.
as I was telling Dawson,
Yeah.
they just want you like involved in whatever they're doing. So whether that be, they're watching a TV show and they think it's really important for you to also see this episode of the Magic School Bus, which they watched yesterday, or playing a game, or whatever they're involved with. They're like, hey, do this with me, and so like we have a great time with them because like we get unlimited screen time is sort of our sort
Ooh,
of saving
nice.
grace is that we don't have to like so they can they're limited I think to like 90 minutes a day of screen time. But
you can do whatever you want, right?
We can absolutely, as we refer to it as like our job was to keep them alive for 4 days and return them into almost as good of condition as we received them. However, by whatever means necessary. So we put a lot of Nintendo. I played a lot of Mario Kart and Smash Brothers, which Tyson, we used to play a good deal of Smash Brothers.
We did. Yeah.
A long time ago, and I'm terrible at it.
Yeah,
now.
me too. I'm a button masher. I used to be able to have some moves, and I don't. Like,
I was better than in my head. I was better at it than I am in real life. And after getting my ass kicked a number of times by kids that are a 12th of my age, it was heartening. But so I'm not good at Smash Brothers. Learned that. Went to the zoo. We did some productive things too. We got through step 20 of about 140 of a Lego project. So we did start a Lego truck project, but lost interest rather quickly with that. Went to the zoo. Had a very fun day at the zoo. And that's about and it's played like lots of video games, lots of VR.
I'm sure they love that.
I was gonna ask if they were into the VR.
They are, yeah. So
at age, I feel like they were.
Yeah.
Did you put them in the chair? Is the chair?
Oh no, the chair is. The chair is an ongoing saga that continues. That was our. So I'll get to that momentarily, but but they love VR. They love like the roller coaster, but you also have to like find like age appropriate activities for them, so they can't kill zombies and things.
They can't play Doom on VR.
Not yet. But anyway, that was our big like 4th of July plans, is because we had the boys from the 5th onward. but we really didn't have any 4th of July plans. And so my big idea was, hey, come over and I'll grill and we can work on the VR chair. And Kathy loves me enough to accept that as a valid 4th of July celebration. So we did that, and no, it was fun because I've had this VR chair thing project for a while that's been delivered in pieces, and they've done different revisions since they released it, and it's not quite a consumer product, like it's getting there. But anyway, so we were going to work on the chair all day, and we got about 15-20 minutes into it, and one of the screws I had to remove was completely stripped out. There was like no way to remove it. So of course the 4th of July holiday, and so I learned about impact drivers and Torx bits.
Wow.
So I learned some stuff.
Whoa.
I learned some handy shit out of the process. So anyway, I did get the screw out a couple of days ago, and so hopefully this weekend we will move forward on that chair. I'm quite excited. Quite excited to get that someday, one day. But
have you ever been to, like, I on at least 2 different occasions I've had to go and buy screws at Ace Hardware. Have you gone and bought screws yet?
So I've actually had, and I have not gone to my my Ace Hardware folks, but I did have to like learn like about like how screws are sized and like what means what and length and like
Could be US,
millimeters.
could
And,
be metric.
it could be that's starting there, yeah. But there's all sorts of like what kind of head that it needs, and it's just it's a whole world out there. I don't think people realize just if you were just to focus on screws for a year, you'd have it made. I think prove that, but
I have always been impressed. I've had to go buy sets of screws many times, and by many times I mean 4 times probably.
Very
And
good.
you take it in, and they're like, I was like, I need like 6 of these, and they're like, oh yeah, I know where those are, and I'm like, if you've ever been in the screw aisle at any of those places, there's a million little things that they pull out, like when they're like, oh yeah, that's what it is.
A little overwhelming.
It is crazy overwhelming. I'm just like,
It probably would have been easier if I had just taken the screw end and be like, hey, what is this? Give me
that's
2
what
of them.
you should do. Yes, you should always do that.
Yeah.
Give me 6 more of these.
I need to support my local hardware store. Ace is the place. They are the helpful handware. They just telling me that they are the helpful hardware folks. Sorry, it's a mouthful.
They are. That's a tongue twister.
It is a tongue twister.
Ace is the place for the helpful hardware.
And I did have I
think that's it.
Kind of a sad story.
It sounds like the jingle.
I have a sad story.
Sad story?
A little bit of a sad story that I can't remember if I mentioned. Have I mentioned in prior podcasts the rabbit that was in my backyard? Have I talked about this?
No.
So I've
heard so many bad rabbits recently.
Did you mow over the rabbit?
Fuck. Oh my god, you did?
Well, yes and no. And now I'm going to tell the story. Now it has this horrific overshadowing now. So about probably 6 to 8 weeks ago, I noticed there was like this kind of mid-sized like bunny, which was like a baby bunny, but it was like a rabbit, and he was hanging out in my backyard. Okay. And he liked to eat my grass because I have the longest and most lush grass in the neighborhood by far. And so he would be out there. And so after like 3 or 4 days, I would notice him like pretty much like, in the morning and then the evening, he was always back there. Like I'd see him like 5 or 6 times a day. And so I thought about it. I was at the grocery store one day. I was in the produce aisle. I was like, yeah, I hear bunnies like carrots. Like I don't have anything to base this on, but I've always heard the carrot versus the stick thing. Bugs Bunny, right? So I don't know if there's any scientific basis for this, but I'm going to buy some carrots. And so I bought some carrots, and for the next few weeks, I would every other day, I'd just leave a carrot out for him. And so he'd come into the yard and eat the carrot. And I assumed he was living his best life, right? Like he does. And so over as our relationship evolved, last couple weeks, I was able to kind of like bring the carrot out and he wouldn't run away. So he wouldn't look directly at me. Like bunnies have this weird thing and not looking directly at anything. They're always looking at something off the side.
Yeah, they're like first dates. Yeah, I know.
A little bit.
Sorry, go ahead.
So anyway, it was fun, right? I had like 3 carrots left in my bag. And then I think like Sunday, the day we got home from babysitting the boys, I noticed like something shiny like in my yard, and immediately my mind went to, oh, it's like a little ball that my neighbor kids threw over, because I'm finding like basketballs and soccer balls and bocce balls all the time. Like they're just throwing it. It's like it's an probably not a bocce ball. That would be a little dangerous, but yeah, throw them back over. I throw them back over. I say heads up. I throw them back over. It's a neighborhood relationship that we have, and I go up to this, and it's entrails. It's just this pile of entrails surrounded by a little fur, and I just and I was like, oh, that looks like my rabbit friend, and I haven't seen him since then.
No!
So I think I've concluded that. Now I actually looked this up because it was very strange. Like they almost, and not to gross people out, but it was like almost too perfect. Like the only thing missing was like the little flags that like my 7th grade teacher put into like a label like everything and be like, well, these are the kidneys. These are like it was like they were just like
weird,
perfectly arranged. And apparently,
did you feel like somebody was like sending you a message?
Well, it was a little weird. Like it was a little.
It's a bird. A bird caught that little thing.
You think it was a bird?
Yeah, okay. I guarantee you, a hawk.
What do you think it was, Smith? What was your? What
I
did your
thought
research?
It might be like a cat or something.
Like
and we do have. There is.
I could see my cat doing that.
My mind immediately did go to Satanism, but I'm like, that's not possible. As much as I would like, as much as I wish that a satanic cult sacrificed my bunny in my backyard, like, you know, that's a message worth sending. But
that's true.
No, but I think I don't. I think I thought it was either like a cat, but there is a fox in the neighborhood, and I don't know if it's like a. But so that I also wondered if the fox kind of got it.
Yeah.
So R.I.P. Bunny. I was going to save that story for Easter.
Now. Oh man, I'm sorry.
I know, I was a little sad. Like we had kind of a thing. It was just fun to watch him, and yeah, it was a little sad to encounter that in the most horrific way possible. No note. He didn't leave a note.
I would almost guarantee it was like a hawk did it or something. I mean,
that sounds, yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. I just couldn't figure out like how they got everything else. It was just that left behind. Like I said, a little bit of fur just to like rub it in a little bit. Like I just like everything else was gone. So yeah, Bunny's like, damn, it's a mixed bag because they're cute, but man, they're nature's so snack, and Mother Nature is like, ooh, it's vicious. It's vicious out there.
Yeah,
it is. I mean,
a hard knock life.
I did not see
inside the resort.
Okay, I was gonna say something, but I can't beat that. That's stay inside your resort.
You kind of get it there.
You nailed it. Well, so like we used to have this dog Duff, who was an Australian Shepherd, and this is before I was with Beth, but Beth had the dog, and a bunny had babies, in their backyard, and dogs don't understand the difference between live animals that squeak and squeaky toys, and she literally chewed up and threw all the baby things away. So I mean, you're right. Bunnies are nature's fodder.
Yeah.
I mean, they just kind of are. But that's why they can make 50 million of them in like a year.
But then they have to be so cute. Why didn't they just they just should have made them like, I don't know, look less adorable. Like cows, right? Like cows, we eat cows all this. Why? Because cows aren't that cute. Like it doesn't really bother us. Chickens aren't that cute. We just
chicks are cute. Little
chicks are cute, right? Yeah.
But when they grow up into chickens, they actually scare me.
Exactly.
I'm not going after eggs ever.
Little
dinosaurs. I don't know.
They are.
Yeah. I mean, Matt,
you've had a rooster chase your ass around a pen. That's
they're kind of mean too.
Seals the deal on it. Yeah.
I've never had that happen, but I'm sure that happened. Apparently to you, I'm sure it's happened to
Yeah, multiple times.
multiple
I
times.
have, I have gigantic eyeballs, and that's immediately where I go to. I'm like, they're gonna peck my eyeballs out. I'm
Oh
out.
yeah, you probably should be worried about that. Actually,
Oh,
that,
for real.
that's
Even,
kind of legit.
especially at the zoo, I'm not shitting you guys. Like, I go over to where the ostriches are, the emus, and they will stalk me. And I literally, I can't do it. Like, anymore. I
Interesting.
go to a zoo. I'm like, I don't need to see the big birds. I'm good. Yep. Just leave them alone. Yeah.
I'm fascinated with emus and ostriches. They're terribly mean. And
They're
they
horrible.
and they can be mean because they're fucking gigantic sort of dinosaur looking things. But
Hard pass.
yeah, no, yeah, me too. Although I was babysitting a parrot a couple of weeks, or
You
I
were
guess last
visiting a
week.
parrot?
I was babysitting a parrot
Oh,
for
babysitting a
a
parrot.
friend
Oh,
of ours.
shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did I not send you guys that video? I thought I did.
No.
I'll send it to you after the thing. Anyway, the parrots live to be like 80 or 90 years old.
Yeah, like a long time.
Yeah.
That
Long time.
is a commitment. And so anyway, our friends left, and they were like, so we went every day to feed the bird and water the garden. And the bird, he does a couple things. He does cat calls. He goes woo woo, and he whistles, and he goes wow 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 wow. He says a bunch of stuff. Anyways,
Uh-huh.
so the owner was like, it was when we got there. The little Alexa thing was playing, or Siri or whatever it is, was playing Disney songs,
Uh-huh.
and they were like, "Why don't you change it?" And I was like, "Okay." So the first day I changed it, I said glam rock. So it listened to 24 hours of glam rock. And then and then the next day we came back, and I said acid rock. And so I listened to 24 hours of acid rock. And then on the third day I came back and I said polka. And apparently it loves polka. So
No shit.
yeah. So
Okay.
I don't know. Just so if you ever need to know, birds like polka, at least it seems reasonable, right?
Interesting.
It's
It
a helpful
does.
tip.
It does. Yes.
I can't believe you bird sat. Just like that alone is
Well,
tripping
it
me
was
up
in a
a little
cage.
bit.
I had a knife.
I was attacked by a full parrot once. I feel like I've told you guys this story before.
I don't think so.
My
No,
well,
I would remember you being attacked by
maybe
a parrot.
this was before I knew you guys, but my college boyfriend Austin, his mom had a gigantic bird named Mesa, and it was a parrot, and that bird was mean. And every time I go to his parents' house, I was like, "Fuck that shit!" Like even Austin was like, "Don't get near the cage," and I'm like, noted. Anyway, we go to Salina, and his parents aren't there for I don't know where his mom was at, but she was cleaning out the cage. So the door was open, but Mesa was just chilling in there swinging. And I walk past the cage, and I shit you not, that bird flies out, lands right on my hip, and then it opens up its beak and just digs into the side of my like hip.
Oh
And
God!
I screamed so loud that his dad and his mom came in from the backyard. They're like, "What happened?" And Austin at that point, like they came in and he was backhanding the bird into the bird cage. Meanwhile, I'm like bleeding from my side.
Wow.
It was not. It was
Interesting.
Well, I thought you
yeah,
fucking hated birds.
scary.
Now
Oh
I
my
want to
God.
go to
Uh-huh.
the zoo with you, Dawson.
They don't
This,
like me,
I
Smith.
know this sounds like
It is a thing.
yeah.
They and like with small birds like parrots, we were watching a couple of them when I was a kid, like in middle school. Because I want to make some extra cash to buy whatever I want. And my friends, well, my parents' friends, they were on vacation. So they're like, "Hey, you want to watch our birds?" Sure, why not? This is what started the whole thing. They must have like like some sort of like communication now where they're like, "Yeah, fuck with this girl,"
Yeah.
because
No, birds
both of
have
those
that.
birds,
I'm convinced.
they,
Birds have
I
that.
swear to God,
I am convinced.
like it's a thing.
Crows
But
do it. Crows do it. So
yeah, it is a thing.
Yeah.
So like I put the bird and I didn't know you're not supposed to do this, but they can't be higher than you because if they feel higher than you, like if you put them on your shoulder, they feel a sense of dominance. And like, so I kept doing it with this bird to the point where the bird would not come off my shoulder when it was time to go back in the cage.
Uh-huh.
Like literally would like walk up behind my neck and take the hairs off my neck, like pick them out, and then nibble on my earlobes. And then it got to the point where it's trying to chew my earlobes. So then my mom and one of my aunties, Luann, would have to backhand the bird back into the cage so we could leave and get on with our day.
Was
It's
this
a thing.
was this bird called Hugh Hefner? What is the fuck going on
Yeah,
there?
I know.
Jesus. Christ, that
That
bird
bird was a
Surprised to learn
little.
the most
That
much
bird
part
was
of
a
this
little
was the
sexual.
bird.
that
Yeah,
bird
that's
Yeah,
wild.
that
That's
bird like
yeah, that bird was yeah.
that beer. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, what he was getting after, but
I think I can actually pinpoint the time that I actually became afraid of birds is when I was like 10 or 12. We went to California to visit some of my relatives, and my grandfather's sister had these two cockatoos. I
uh
mean, they
huh.
were big, big cockatoos.
Ugh, ugh.
And she showed me on her shoulder these huge scars where it
Uh-uh.
had dug into her shoulder and ripped out the
Whoa!
flesh because it got spooked or something. And I'm like, from ever since then, I'm like, nope, no birds, nothing.
Yeah,
Like,
no.
isn't that crazy?
Absolutely not.
And
Oh,
she showed her
Ugh,
and she kept the birds. I was like, I would have fucking shoved that
I would
bird.
have.
I would have
Yeah.
shoved that
oh,
bird headfirst into a fucking, what do they call that thing? The in your sink disposal. And like,
Garbage
I'm
disposal.
like, Jesus Christ. But
Ugh.
yeah, I mean, I can actually pinpoint the time where I became afraid of birds, and so
wow.
yeah, and apparently you can too, Dawson. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
so
not
Matt, we're
a
gonna go.
pleasant
Matt,
thing.
we're gonna take you to the birdhouse. You and
Yeah, you can
Dawson
just
and
see
I.
how Tyson and I
Yeah,
crumble
Yeah,
to the
trying to.
floor.
and
Well, I
And
kind of want to go to the
yeah.
big birds now. Like now that like
All
the
right, I'll
little
tell
ones
you
are
this.
vicious.
When we have our little friend reunion in Indianapolis, we'll go to the zoo, and I shit you not, they will stalk me.
We
Like
will
I'll go to
absolutely
the
go to
big
the zoo.
birds.
They have a big bird show too. Like it's all out in
Oh
the
they
God.
open.
do.
Like
Yeah,
if
no, I
I
know.
mean, I'm just saying, if they wanted to kill you, they absolutely could kill you.
Those
So
those
No,
those
yes,
I am on their shit list
those
for real.
those pictures that you guys have seen of me with the bird sitting on my shoulder and me freaking out, that is
I
from
was just gonna say.
That's the Indianapolis Zoo. That is where that's from.
yeah.
So
All right,
It's a nice zoo. It's just
it's a
there.
good it's a good time.
It's
I'm
It,
fine.
it
I
is
love
it's a good
every other
it's a
part
good
of the
zoo.
zoo other than the
They
birds.
got
For
Dippin'
real.
Dots. They got
Hey,
Dippin' Dots.
Yep.
love a Dippin' Dot.
Yeah.
Love a Dippin'
Like,
Dot.
why don't they melt immediately? It's amazing. I don't know.
It is
Dippin' Dots.
amazing. Fucking genius.
They got like
Did you
seven
did you
Goddamn
flavors
did
too.
you
genius.
have Dippin' Dots
I
when
did
you?
not. I purchased Dippin' Dots, but I myself did not actually enjoy the Dippin' Dots.
You know the thing with
They're
Oh,
Dippin'.
for
Smith, you
they're
gotta
for
get the
children.
Dippin' Dots.
I don't. Well, I actually wound up
You can
getting Dippin'
sneak some
Dots
Dippin'
because.
Dots.
Well, hold on. Story works out. We had a dolphin show. We had to make it like 2:30 in the afternoon, or no, excuse me, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. We were running short on time, so both boys like they couldn't. So I was like, "All right, you got to eat your Dippin' Dots fast." I'm like, "Go get brain freeze." So like sometimes you just have to do it, and
Suck it up.
so they ate like their ice cream really fast, and I couldn't eat anymore. So I got some leftover dots. And, we made
Oh,
it to the show on time.
Happened.
It
they
was,
were
Nice.
constipated for 5 days.
I
But
don't know. I can't speak to their levels of constipation.
Yeah,
I was
I
uh,
just okay. Well, just real fast, and then we'll get to the headlines and
sure.
stuff. But uh,
yeah.
what is your favorite thing to buy at an amusement park to eat? All right, I'm gonna tell you mine, and you guys can figure. You guys
At an
can figure.
amusement park or a zoo or both, like,
Amusement
because
park,
I feel like they
zoo,
have different.
business park,
Okay.
zoo, Disney World, Universal,
Any
any of those,
establishment that has a
Any
map,
establishment.
any
any place where
establishment that
you're gonna
requires a
pay,
Okay.
paper map.
any place you're gonna pay 400% more than it's worth. All right.
Yes,
Yeah.
Oh,
I
Okay.
have
I
my
know
So,
mine.
answer.
okay. My answer
Yes.
is the frosted lemonade. That is my favorite.
Oh, that's a good one.
I
God, I
love
haven't had
that
one of
shit.
those in a long time.
I
No.
was in Panera today after physical therapy, and they had an agave one, and I was like, oh my god. So I'm definitely gonna go back this weekend and get one, but I didn't have time. But anyway, how about you guys?
I'm
Uh,
a funnel cake man myself.
okay. See that, Smith? I was gonna go with funnel cake, but I'm gonna choose corn dog.
Oh,
I feel
corn
like
dog.
corn dog is
all
probably
right, see,
mine.
I love corn dogs too, but here's where I can safely cook a corn dog in
At
my own
home.
home.
That's
At
right.
home.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
mean, that's
that's true.
the sort of
Yeah.
the difficulty level on the it just makes me want, and the smell is just like so
Oh,
infectious. Like
the
that
best.
smell is
Yeah.
just, it just wafts from ride to ride.
It covers up all the carny
Oh, it
BO
does. It
just right.
does. All the carny BO.
I need to go to.
I love it.
I need to go to a carnival
Allegedly.
again. It's been a minute, but I
Yeah,
want
I
to see.
would love to go to the Ellis County
Yeah.
Fair, like that
Trigo County Fair.
level
Or
of
like
like
Wild West Fest. It's
yes.
been
Yeah.
a minute.
I would be curious if they still sell those cocaine mirrors that I didn't know were cocaine mirrors at the time.
Okay.
I would. You know what I'm
Yes.
talking about? Like
Mhm.
it
Yeah.
looks like a plaque. It's on
Yeah.
glass, and I
Yeah.
was so proud of my
Well,
Simpsons one.
I owned
and,
several roach clips in the fourth
oh,
grade. I
me
didn't know
too.
they were roach clips,
Me
but
neither.
they were absolutely. I was like, it's a feather.
Exactly.
It's a feather with a clip on the end of it.
You could put it on your hat, or you could smoke a doob. Whatever. You know,
I
like
know. I know.
So versatile.
It was that. No, I absolutely had that. I had I had like a Playboy mirror. I remember, like it was like you just
the
like you
bunny.
would just a
Oh,
mirror
yeah,
with like an image
yeah,
on it,
yep,
the
yep.
Playboy bunny, because that was an appropriate thing for a 9-year-old.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
brother had one. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like, rite of
Really,
passage.
like the fair, like for me, was all about obtaining like contraband, because like this was
Absolutely.
a pre-internet, so this was like about like ninja stars and knives and like
Exactly.
what other weird
Yeah,
shit people were
yeah.
selling, and so it was all about contraband
It
and
was.
relatively
Yeah.
dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, like I remember, one year I got really good at this ring toss. They had a bunch of knives just stuck into a thing, and you could just if you threw a ring over the knife, you got the knife.
No
I got
way.
like
That's
yeah,
That's
I got
fucking
literally
crazy.
16 knives. I still have some of them. I mean, and, I mean, huge knives, like knives. I mean, like like
Holy shit.
children should not have these knives, but yeah, like and I got really good at
Oh,
it
God.
because I needed knives. I don't know. Or Indiana
Yeah,
Jones.
I
I
always
needed them.
say the 90s were the best, but the 80s and 90s together. I assume this was in the 80s. I feel like the 90s they probably cracked down on the knives
not
for
really,
small
not
children.
really in Western Kansas. You'd
Not
be
really,
amazed at
no.
the black
No,
market shit
No.
you
yeah.
could buy up until about the mid '90s in the carnival
Mhm.
circuit.
Yeah, I mean, I
Yeah.
bought. I remember buying a Chinese throwing star
Holy shit.
at a fair
Yeah.
in like Lewis, Kansas.
Stink bombs. I remember obtaining stink bombs,
Oh
the
wow,
little glass vial stink
you
bombs. I don't know if
tossed,
you
yeah,
guys ever, yeah, you throw them down. I
yeah.
bought some of those. Never used them. Never had the cojones
Somebody
to use
somebody used one of those in my locker when I was a
yeah,
freshman.
somebody did it
That's a dick
in
move.
It
like a
was.
student, like when we had those meetings in middle school, like a all student assembly. That's the word I'm looking for. Somebody threw one in an
All
assembly
student
and got us out of
contact.
an assembly. Also at
I'm cool with that. Assembly's
The
fucking
Saturday
messed
matinee, they had like the summer movies for kids, and
Yeah.
in Hayes that somebody did it one time.
Oh wow.
Would they like win prizes? You guys remember that? Like they do like the
Oh my God.
afternoon
I
movies. You could win,
loved
like you'd
the
save your
summer
ticket, and you could win
movies.
like a
Yeah.
bike or a Discman. Yeah.
I know
I
exactly what you
never
guys are
won
talking about, but
anything.
that was too far to drive for my parents. They're like, just
Oh,
pick up
sorry.
sticks in the
It was like
backyard.
I think they were like $1. It was like dollar summer movies or whatever. It was fantastic.
They just put in a fucking VHS tape and
Exactly.
they're like,
They're like,
here's
all
a
right,
bowl of popcorn test.
and you didn't want a bike, so have a good night.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
All
I
right,
did.
let's do
I will say just one more thing. I was always sort of jealous that you like people in his could just go to these Saturday afternoon children's shows, which were
and they
basically
were
like
like $2 a
it was
movie or
yeah,
some
it was
shit
like
like
two
that.
bucks, and then
Cool. Yeah.
And your parents loved it too because you were, out of the house and out of their hair. It was great.
Yeah.
you're like,
Win-win.
And
Yeah.
it was really cool, not to underestimate it too, but it was really cool that like we could just like ride our bike pretty much anywhere in town. So we would just like
That's
ride
true,
our
yeah.
bike to the mall. We didn't live anywhere near the mall, but it was a 10-minute ride. So, and it was the early '90s. So
Well, your
Yeah.
parents are way cooler than mine. Mine would not allow me to cross Vine.
One time,
Oh, sorry,
yeah,
Mom.
crossing Vine
Sorry,
was
Mom. You're cool now. You're cool now.
maybe wasn't supposed to cross Vine, but maybe you did it on occasion because Vine was like the main aorta
That
of that.
was
Yeah,
a big no-no.
it was.
Yeah.
Vine was a toughie.
Yeah.
well, to be fair, that's fair. I mean, to be fair, that's a big one. I mean, I remember one time Matt and I were at somebody's house at like 3 o'clock in the morning, and we walked. And their house was on campus, and we walked to his parents' house. Do you remember
Oh,
that, Matt?
I do
Jesus.
remember that. Yeah,
It was
wasn't that
fucking.
bad.
It wasn't that bad. It took a long time. We were a little drunk and having a good conversation.
See, there you go. See, we can walk anywhere, you and I.
But it's like,
Aw.
We'll start with my parents' house and go from there. But
we definitely crossed. What's the one that runs up in
Hall
between
Street.
Yeah, Hall Street. Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was 4 o'clock in the morning. I mean, it's not like
it's a relatively safe place. So, there's nobody out. Like it was. Yeah.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
like, nobody's gonna mess with you.
I loved walking around Hayes at night. It was like the best thing to do. Like when all the people were hiding, it was like, I love this city. Yeah, love it.
All right.
Oh, Hayes.
All right.
All right, let's do some headlines. Headlines of the week.
I've missed that. Okay, where's my fucking list? I don't have a lot of headlines because I've been.
I don't either.
I don't
got,
either.
Like, two.
So yeah, that's a good thing we
All right,
talk
weird.
about other bullshit for a while.
This is this is my favorite headline. This is in Rolling Stone. It came out last week, and there's been a bunch of stuff that's happened since then, and you can look it up. But this is the original one. Quote: He kicked me in my balls. Unquote. Fight at Michigan GOP meeting turns physical. Report. Okay, I'm just gonna read a little bit of this. All right. Okay. All right. James Chapman, a Republican from Wayne County, told the paper he traveled to the city of Clare to join the party meeting at the Doherty Hotel, but the meeting was reserved for members of the state committee. So Chapman said he and others gathered outside the meeting location and recited the Pledge of Allegiance. Fucking Republicans. He also said that he
That'll
attempted.
show them.
I know, right? He also said that he attempted to open a door to the meeting room by jiggling the doorknob. All right, that's an important plot point to this story. Mark DeYoung, not to be confused with Dennis DeYoung of Styx, that's for my wife, thank you very much,
Oh,
who chairs the Clare County Republican Party, said he heard Chapman's attempt to enter the room and open the door after seeing someone flip him the bird through the window. Quote, he kicked me in my balls as soon as I opened the door, unquote. DeYoung said that DeYoung said of Chapman speaking to the Detroit News by phone in from the emergency room. So he got right on it. DeYoung added that Chapman charged him, slammed his body into a chair, and said he now has a broken rib. He tends to press charges. Quote, we're so divided, DeYoung told the paper. Quote, I just wish we could come together. All right. Obviously, I just went a little bit further, but I don't want to bury the lead about somebody kicking them in the balls. All right. Here's the other thing, and this is a headline, and it's going to turn into a rant, and you're just going to have to go with me a little bit on this, okay? This is from
Fair.
Vanity Fair.
you don't have a choice. You don't have a
Yeah,
choice.
we're here.
We're all locked and loaded. Here we go. All right.
That's why you guys are my best.
And I like that it's from Vanity Fair. You're
Yeah.
like,
You're just gonna have to listen to this.
I'm sorry, but Vanity Fair has some excellent
they
writers.
do.
They do.
I know that's why, but they do. But yeah,
They
I
do.
like that the rant's coming from that. Anyway, go.
Okay, this is the headline from Vanity Fair. Yet again, the year's most acclaimed TV comedies aren't very funny. You guys have been you guys have been listening to me bitch about this for the last 10 years? I don't know. Ever since Arrested Development.
It's been a while.
Yeah, so like I was looking up. So
Whose
and
fire
this
truck was that? Was that my fire truck?
I don't know.
wasn't me.
It wasn't me either.
I hope the house is not on fire.
No, just check. Quick smoke check. All right, we're good. Continue, Tyson.
Everything's fine. Yeah.
It can't happen twice, right, guys? Anyway, I was looking at
Funny if it did. Hilarious. It'd be really funny.
I literally, if my wife listens to this, she's going into fucking 3 weeks of therapy. So that is not cool, guys. So let's just keep this on the DL. All
All right.
Oh.
Anyway, so I had pulled up. Let me just make sure. I'm gonna pull it up again. Nomination lists. So Here's my problem with the comedies in Emmys. The Emmys is the only show that I'll watch really
Okay,
anymore.
I may join this rant.
So the problem is that the comedy shows are basically drama shows with like two jokes in them. You know,
Agreed. Totally agree, Ties.
it is
And I
not.
love The Bear, but it is not a
It
It's
comedy.
is
not a
not
comedy.
a
No,
comedy.
no, God, no, no.
And we busted through that. We watched both seasons this last week.
Fucking
Fantastic show.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Excellent.
not a
No,
comedy.
no. I mean, two good laughs. You know, you can get two good laughs out of Better Call Saul, or you wouldn't call Breaking Bad. You can get a couple laughs out of that. A comedy, right? It just
Yep.
irritates the shit out of me. White Lotus is considered a drama. That seems to make sense to me. But you know,
But it's
like
more of a comedy than fucking The Bear.
it
I'll
is.
say that.
So
Yeah.
these are the nominees for best comedy series. Is Abbott Elementary, which is an actual comedy,
It is, and
uh,
it's quite good.
and it's very good. Barry, which this last season
Uh,
was
Used to
not.
be a comedy, but
Yeah, it
used to
used
be
to
a
be a
comedy.
comedy, right?
Yeah,
The Bear, which is funny.
former comedy.
The
which is
Bear
yeah.
is great, but it's not. It's not a comedy. Now, Jury Duty did get nominated, and I haven't watched that yet, but I feel like
Wow.
that's definitely a comedy. I feel like.
Yeah, it was
Yeah, for sure.
The Marvelous Miss Maisel, that's definitely on the lines, but I laughed more at that show than I did at The Bear.
right.
Um, Only
Yeah,
Murders in the Building, comedy. I'll call
comedy.
that not
Fair.
Yep.
not hilarious, not Tina Fey funny, but you know, like
No, but it's there. I mean, it's
Ted Lasso. You could go either way. It's funny, but it's also very drama-y, depending on which episode you're watching.
mm,
And the last one was
yeah.
Wednesday, which I guess I would call that a comedy. Did you guys watch Wednesday?
I watched a couple
Mm,
episodes, but I didn't feel like it was a
now,
comedy necessarily.
is there like a half hour bias kind of happening here? Because
Well,
most of
that's
these, I'm wondering if that's where
That's
they're kind of
actually a
yeah,
good
because
but you
point.
know, like Miss Marvel, every episode's an hour long. Only Murders in the Building, that's about 28 minutes long. Everyone, Ted Lasso, there were a couple episodes that were up to an
Pretty
hour.
long. Yeah.
So I mean, I think it. I
not
just
as
get
much. Then yeah.
yeah, I just get irritated because you know, like I think what was that show that Jeffrey Tambor was in where he played a transgender
Oh,
man?
Oh,
it was like one of the.
fuck.
It was like actually it was the first
Producers.
Netflix original
Trans
transparent transparency.
Transparent. You got
Yep,
it.
yep.
Transparent.
excellent,
Yep.
pretty great show. Not a comedy, but was nominated as a comedy. You
Hmm.
know, back in the day. So I mean, I think I just have this real problem with the way that they're dealing with this stuff. You know, like it just doesn't make you know.
Well,
The line between drama and comedy, you know, like I would even say the new Night Court should get a nod in this because at least I laughed when I was watching it, you know, and it's not even that good of a show.
well,
So,
so like booking this, do you have like the nominees for drama?
yeah, I do. Yeah.
Because I'm
Okay.
curious because I'm curious what they're
Well,
sticking in comedy
Succession.
because I'm
Okay.
sure
Succession's real
Succession.
strong.
Yeah.
Okay. So best
Yeah.
drama series here they are. Andor, which I was surprised that made it, but it's excellent show, so that's pretty cool.
It is good.
Yeah.
I wasn't surprised by that.
To be fair, Andor is like a Star Wars show for people who don't like Star Wars.
Yeah.
And you know,
I'd agree with that.
and this new show on Disney Plus, the Secret Invasion that's happening right now with
Yeah.
that is very much like a Marvel comic show for people that don't like Marvel comics. Really, it's
Mhm.
excellent. I highly recommend it. Anyway, so Better Call Saul.
Everybody's covering their bases. They're like,
Yeah, I know.
hey, they must hate comic books. We gotta do that.
I know you guys hate comic books and cartoons. I know what I'm dealing with.
Finally, they're appealing to us. Yeah.
Better Call Saul, best drama. That I mean, I feel like that's going to win because it should have won
It should have won so many
several
others.
times.
Yeah.
The
They're just
Crown,
making up for it.
House of the Dragon. Haven't watched that. Last of
That
Us.
was not that great,
Last of Us.
to
I
be
watched
honest.
Last of Us. I really
Last
liked
of
it.
Us was excellent. Yeah.
Succession. I'm gonna watch that.
Excellent.
White Lotus. I haven't watched the new season, but we
Yeah,
will
I don't
watch it.
either.
And then
Good.
and I was happy to see his Yellow Jackets got a nom. So
Oh, I didn't
yeah,
see that. That's cool.
yeah, no, it's cool, and I'm getting ready to watch that. I don't think Beth has any interest in watching it, but I mean, I think it looks
It's
really
right
good.
up your alley, Tice.
You'll like it.
It's
Yeah,
yeah.
I begrudgingly will sort of watch the first season. I was actually sort of over impressed. It was good.
But there's, and then you get these kind of weird things like so best limited or anthology series Obi-Wan Kenobi from Disney Plus is 6 episodes. Andor is 9 episodes, so I guess 6 makes it a limited thing. I don't. Again,
Limited
I
series.
do
Yes.
not understand how the Emmy people make their decisions. Um, but anyway, it's just like Mr. Mayor is funny. It's funny. You gotta watch it. It makes you laugh. It's very smart. W- Why is that not on there? Or just Abbott Elementary. I would say is the most legit comedy
Comedy on the list.
on the
Yes, I
list,
agree.
and it's
Yeah.
and it's excellent and it's good, and I think it'll probably win. To be honest with you. Um,
Well, it should win. And the
um,
Bear should be up with Succession and all of those other
Yeah.
Yeah,
like it's
exactly. The
just
Bear should
ridiculous.
be up there. Have you guys finished season 2 of The Bear?
Oh
Yes,
yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It was fucking great. I was like, but I
Yeah.
mean, there's like that episode where they sent the chef to Amsterdam.
I
There
love
was
that episode.
great episode. Not a
Yeah.
single
No comedy.
joke. No joke
Oh
at
God, no.
all.
Yeah, no,
Not a
no.
goddamn
Most
one.
of those episodes, there's no joke. Like the Fishes episode that everybody lost their shit about with like all of the guest stars and stuff,
Oh
where it's
right,
like at
yeah,
Christmas, which
Yeah,
was amazing.
yeah.
great.
Did anybody laugh? Like
No.
maybe a couple times,
No,
but it was like the tension was thick.
Yeah. And
yeah.
great. I mean, fantastic, fantastic. But it's almost like they were like, well, we're not gonna beat Succession, so let's throw this in.
It's exactly that.
You
It's
know.
exactly that.
And
Yeah.
I'm so sick of that bullshit. It just
Which is
drives me crazy.
bullshit for Abbott
Yeah.
Elementary and like other actual comedies. I don't, yeah.
Yeah. So
Nope.
anyway, those are my headlines. I just a little bit of rant. I mean, because the
Hey, that's
Emmy,
Now
fair. It's a fair rant.
I'm fired up too.
Yeah.
My watch
Fuck the
just
Emmys.
yelled at me.
you know, the fucking does your watch tell you when
Yeah,
you're?
when my heart rate goes up,
Oh, I
it's
love.
like, hey girl,
That's awesome. I love it.
chill out. Yeah.
Oh, if I could just make one listener's heart rate go up, then God bless America. Ah,
Or one
Right.
co-host,
That's right.
whatever.
whatever.
Yeah. It's fine.
All right, those are my
Smith,
those are my.
Yeah, I
feel
didn't have a
free.
lot, but I had a handful. Just to kind of segue into the conversation we're already sort of having. So it does look like SAG at midnight is going
Oh, yeah.
to strike. And this is the first time that both the Screen Actors Guild and the Writers Guild have been on strike simultaneously. I think since like the 40s, either the 40s or the 60s.
I was reading it. 1960 was the last time.
1960. Okay,
Oh,
so
wow.
so
Yeah.
Okay.
look at that proactive production and shit.
That's fucking great. That's fucking great, though. I'm fucking.
I agree.
Everybody.
I
should
agree,
yeah.
make more
and
money.
they both, and it is. I think this is going to be really interesting for a number of reasons, but I think the fact that media has become like just over like the last decade with the consolidation, media has become much less of an art and much more of a business, or at least those are the people directly involved in the business.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Those creative types have been weirdly, even though the quality of product has been unequivocal, like for the last decade. I
Yeah.
mean, like just like
Oh, yeah.
there's so much good television out there. I mean,
There is.
way more
Yeah.
than probably should exist. But
For sure.
somehow there has been this. But I think I think that's just because there was just this huge flow of money forever. And they were producing, and none of these companies actually, the streaming services, really make a profit yet. I think this was just, or I think that this is just the sort of the initial pangs of like when reality kind of hits the road, and like
I think
it's
you're
not
right.
just about having these huge budgets. Like they really have to confront these issues, and the people that have to confront them, like Bob Iger, are basically taking this "well, fuck you" attitude. And
Exactly.
it's going to be real interesting to see where that gets them, because the interesting thing was, I think the last writer's strike was it 2010. I think that was
Yeah,
something
it
around.
was. I believe
Something
it was. Yeah, it was around 2010.
Yeah.
And, Patrick Verone was he was the president of the Writers Guild at the time, and Patrick Verone is an interesting cat because he wrote he wrote a buttload of Futurama episodes, but
Oh, it's
Mhm.
he was a Harvard graduate, and so they kind of put him in charge. And you remember how shitty that was? There was no new television for like what 8 months.
oh yeah.
Long
Well, I
time.
think we're
Yeah.
looking. I mean, with a simultaneous strike and no new contracts, and like, I mean, this could. It's really interesting because the fast moving how like it's funny because not to belabor it, but like Tyson and I like 20 years ago used to get into this argument about which was a greater art form, which was were movies were better art form, or was television a better art form. At the time, I was right. At the time, movies were a greater art form because television was really still like you had The Sopranos, but you didn't have a lot of great television,
Great. Yeah.
and it's sort of inverted. And so it's really going to be interesting to see, like, with all these short-term kind of properties, I don't like it's just a different battle at this point. And it's going to be
Yeah.
really interesting to see what happens and how long um I don't know how long it takes to kind of resolve. But yeah, we're going to be without late night television and SNL for probably through Jesus next summer, maybe. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know how long it's going to take to
Well,
resolve. But
first off, it's nice to finally have you admit that I'm right
thank
20
you,
years
thank you.
later.
No, it takes
But
me some time, but I always come around to
you do,
Tyson was
you
right,
do. But
as with most of the people in my life.
you're not wrong. You were
Ah,
right at the time. I just prefer the serialized. I mean, I just prefer that. And now it's so much better because you can tell a much bigger story and a much richer tapestry of a story in a
Right,
television show.
yeah.
right.
You know, and I still love movies. You know, like especially you get in there and in three clean acts, or whatever. Um, God, what movie was I was? There's some movie. I'll look it up. But they have somebody said that they actually had 13 acts in that movie. I'll look it up and I'll let you guys know what it was.
Okay.
Which is crazy. I mean, that is crazy, by the way.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the fact is like so if the actors go on strike, they they won't go on like television. They won't go on The View. They won't go on
Nope.
anything. They'll just,
Mm-mm.
I mean, it'll just be done.
Yeah,
I
in fact,
mean,
the kind of
They
the
actually like walked out of the
yeah,
Oppenheimer.
that's what I was just thinking of, Dawson. Yeah, I
Yeah.
just
oh,
saw that
I didn't
tonight. Is
hear
they didn't do
this.
any press or
Like
anything. They just
it
walked
came
out. Yeah,
out that they were going on strike, and so the actors, where was it at, Smith? The premiere?
yeah. I
It
don't
was
know.
over in Europe somewhere. And so the actors heard about it during the premiere and they walked out.
Yeah,
No shit.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
fucking awesome. First off.
Yeah.
And by the
Yeah.
way,
It's a
fuck
big
these
deal.
studios. They fucking need to pay their talent. That's fucking
Right.
bullshit.
And that's what I
It's
mean is like, I
true.
really mean is like, I think that the studio, what I thought of a studio 10, 15, 20 years ago, I think has dramatically changed from who those decision makers are.
Yeah.
I think it's just, they're all public companies now, and they're all, it's like, it's going to be really, really fun to see what we're all watching in a year. Uh,
Yeah, I know. Yeah, right. I mean, like because
Drew
Yeah.
you can even
Carey,
do
and it's gonna be Drew Carey and the guy that
game
hosts
shows.
everything. Yeah,
There's game shows.
Seriously, game
yeah.
shows. Yeah.
But
Reality
Steve
television.
Harvey is
Bullshit.
gonna have
Yeah.
another 13 shows.
with the problem, okay, I'm in for that. But
Can't
the,
wait. Can't wait.
but it's so
Harvey
weird
knows.
because even I mean everything's written. Even like
Even
all
reality
reality
TV
That's
now.
TV
Yeah,
true.
yeah,
is
That's
written.
true.
yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
it's all it's all written. So I mean it's gonna be a fucking wasteland. The nice thing is we can catch up on all this bullshit that we've missed over the last 10 years.
That's true.
That's true.
I might actually watch the fucking Wire. So we'll just see how that goes.
I think that's a
It's
good
time to
plan. I
watch The
need to
Wire,
get to,
Tyson. It's
yeah,
time to watch The Wire.
I watch it again because I'm not like Tyson and I watched it years ago and it's fucking brilliant and I
Yeah,
can't wait for you to
me
get
too.
bored enough to
Me
watch
too.
it.
Oh, that's so sweet. Uh, I can't wait till you're near death. You'll be like, well, I can take this bullet in my mouth, or I can watch The
Love
Wire.
the wire.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but you're right. Yeah, I saw that, and I'll, what's gonna happen after this is that the fucking the stagehands. Like all the technical people are gonna walk too. I mean,
Yep.
literally, they're. I
Yeah.
mean, this is this is
Yeah.
cascading,
Yeah,
and it's
Yep.
you're right. Oh, you're right. What is the? Yeah, there
Giant
was like
stuff.
an electricians union. There's another like what's the technical union? I forget.
yeah.
It's
I mean,
called,
it's I can't remember the
Uh,
name of them, but I mean, they're the people that are the
yeah.
gaffers and the
like the
the
best
the
boys and
DPs and all that
Yeah.
shit.
which is the majority of your crew. I mean, like
It is. I mean, you
Yeah.
can't do
oh
anything
the
without.
You can't-
yeah
Yeah.
the director. I guess Directors Guild could follow, and then there's there's all
Actually,
kinds
the
of
Directors Guild did sign a contract already with. I think I'm correct here. They already signed a deal, so they're out.
they're good.
They've already
Okay,
signed a
okay,
deal.
interesting.
But everybody else is going to hop on this bandwagon, I think, and so that's kind of fun. I like the idea of like like Harrison Ford, like picketing next to, not that he would do it, but let's just say he did, picketing next to a writer who writes fucking like you know what's that, Upper Decks, Lower Decks, that stupid show. Like I like the two of them hanging out, like kind of trading notes on the industry. I just
Yeah, that's funny.
that's a show I would watch. Somebody should just videotape that shit. I would watch that.
That's
Harrison
hilarious.
Ford talking to reality show writers and pitching his ideas.
There's okay, sorry, just tiny little thing. So I had back surgery. I can't move a lot. I have to sit down all the time. And there's a show on Roku TV, the channel called Nosy. And I'm like, what the?
Nosy.
I was like, what the fuck is
Interesting.
Nosy? All it is Jerry Springer reruns and all his little
Oh, you told
offshoots.
us about this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's fucking ridiculous. It's great. Anyway, Matt, go ahead. Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's always good to hear more about Roku.
That's
I'm
my fucking.
considering it. It's an option. That's
It's my
considering
fucking.
it.
I'm telling you right now, it has kept me fucking entertained. So go Roku. Not only do by the way, they did that. Roku did that movie, that Weird Al movie.
Oh yes, I did watch that. Yeah, I love that movie. Yeah,
Daniel
I have not watched it yet.
Daniel Radcliffe,
Sorry.
who plays Weird Al, got a nomination in the Emmys.
Oh,
Oh, that's
good.
right.
Good,
I
good,
did
good.
see that.
Excellent.
Yay.
That's cool. Sorry, go ahead.
A couple quick ones. FDA approves first over-the-counter birth control pill. Kind of a big deal. This is what happens when you take away other rights, as we find free to reinstate them.
Yep.
At least for the time being. So yeah, good to see this happen. It's called O-Pill, I believe is what it's going to be called. Prorogo says O-Pill, O-P-I-L-L, will be available over the counter by 2024. So that means that, hopefully in...
they should rebrand that the Oh No pill.
I like that.
the Oh No pill. But anyway, O-Pill, available in pharmacies near you. Stay not pregnant, people. Unless you want to be pregnant. But.
Do you have to get no, wait, I had no idea. Do you have to get
you still have to get a prescription? Dawson, you still have to get a prescription to get the birth control, right? I mean, up until...
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
So
I had no idea.
Yeah, this is a big deal. This means you don't have to have the conversation with your parents. Nope. You can just go to CVS and go away. Yeah.
Hello, Walgreens.
I literally feel like an idiot. I just assumed you could just get that at a store. Wow.
No. It's kind of, now I believe Plan B has been over the counter for a while.
Plan B has been over the counter for a while.
But that's not obviously preventative. And so this is like but this is a good
I hope everyone's watching the video of this right now. I think I see Dawson.
No, I'm about to spill the beans on a funny story, but I won't say who, but somebody in a state where they cannot get access to Plan B right now. I sent them some.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah, good for you. Oh.
I was very nervous about it though, because you guys know I'm highly anxious. I could get in big trouble for it, and I'm not doing it again. Person who I sent it to, I think she knows that, but yes.
Actually, you know what, Doss? Like, we had some good friends that used to work that moved over to the States from Ireland, and we send them Tylenol because you can't get Tylenol in Ireland without a prescription. So I mean, it's odd, but so
it's weird, but
good
do what
on
you have to do.
Good on you. Keep those babies out of.
Got to keep those babies out of those vaginas.
Keep those babies. Oh, but where do the
It's the
babies
next T-shirt.
go?
Let's keep
that is a good. Keep those babies out of
babies out of
those
those
vaginas.
vaginas. JabberJaw.com.
One more headline, and I didn't even read this article, but it's like the most recent one I've seen. The string of headlines. Jay Baruchel says on-screen hatred for Jonah Hill, and this is the end inspired by real life. And he goes on to write about how much he hated about working for Jonah Hill. All right, what is going on here? Have you guys seen this? Like, there's been all this whole
I read
zeitgeist
some
about
headline about Jonah Hill today. He was like forcing himself on a teenage girl or some
it's all
shit.
starting to kind of leak out. Like, apparently, like an ex-girlfriend, like revealed a bunch of text messages that were like abusive, and so I just wondered if any of you guys had any.
I haven't heard anything about that. I will say that I really like Jay Baruchel, so I mean, like
I do too.
I'm a big fan.
He was he actually what was I just watched something that he was
Blackberry, right?
shit. Yes, it was Blackberry, which was one of my plugs this week. Drew, thanks for reminding me.
Yeah.
But no, he was excellent in that. So yeah, kind of I hate like finding out people are assholes. Like just
I do too, but then it's like some people like James Franco, like everybody in that sort of like
it's true. Yeah, it's all you're right. There is kind of this general greasiness to that whole crew now. Yeah.
Sorry.
I know.
I mean, I hope Jay's a good guy, but like fucking Jonah, that doesn't surprise me.
No, not. Yeah.
I guess that probably doesn't really surprise me either. I mean, I feel like Seth Rogen's a good guy. He seems like a nice guy. And he's cut. He cut ties with Franco.
Yeah, he did. That's right. Yeah.
You know, he's just like, I can't. Sorry, I just I can't. Sorry.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's I was looking on TMZ and that's what I get. So yeah, I figured I'd throw that out there.
Thanks, buddy.
It was like Yahoo. I only check TMZ on those really
and
slow
now
news
Smith
days.
knows the hot goss.
Yeah.
I like this.
I actually did do something about McAfee, the sports commentator, made some comment about one of the Jenners like having they're referring to her because she's like dated like 5 NBA players now, and they're calling like her starting 5, like Kaylee's starting 5.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
That's actually pretty fucking funny. Yeah, I mean, you date 5 NBA players. I mean,
I know.
It's fair. That's the nickname. Yeah, the starting 5.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny.
The starting.
And that's what I read this week. Dawson, hopefully you read better information, happier information.
I have a couple. Burger King introduces real cheeseburger that has 20 slices of cheese.
Damn it!
I
almost said that. I'm glad somebody talked about this.
Wait,
so,
what?
That is a real thing. So this was on very reliable source, Unilad.
I saw it elsewhere, so I believe it is credible. It's credible.
It is credible, I think, because I did see it in a couple other places. But this was actually introduced on my dad's birthday, I believe, in Thailand. So basically, it's 2 buns and 20 slices of American cheese.
Okay, so it's like a monster grilled cheese. Is that the deal? Is there?
I guess even so.
Go to the extent of grilling it. I think it's.
I don't either. I think maybe they like warm the bun because like the advertising, it's like
a little melty.
It's
a little melty, right?
Is it American
cheese? It's American cheese.
It's American cheese.
20 slices.
20 slices.
Right.
Oh my God.
2 buns.
Yeah.
They're selling that for real.
Good luck in the bathroom.
Yeah.
There's a lot of constipation going on in Thailand.
Yeah.
Don't go to McDonald's.
I don't know what's going on. What is going on in Thailand? This has got to be
I don't know. That's scary. I agree, Smith. I'm kind of worried.
What is going on? We're going to see if this is a success or not.
What is the deal with Thailand?
What is the deal with Thailand? 20 pieces of cheese.
Jerry Seinfeld's so funny. Okay.
Wait, hold on. I just want to. Matt and I used to roommate with this guy John, and when he wanted to snack, he would eat a block of cheddar. He wouldn't even slice it up. He would just
my dad used to do that.
And drink,
he would slice it
and drink a 6-pack. He would just eat it like a burger or
like
a candy bar. And I was like,
my God.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I mean,
did you guys like?
We did not share a bathroom, so I don't know how it worked out.
We have no idea how it worked. He had his own bathroom. That may have been why. Or he actually shared a bathroom with Keith. So only Keith.
Matt and I had our own bathroom.
We had our own issues. We had our own.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we had.
Oh my God, you boys are so disgusting.
Well, he just kept leaving.
Women are kind of gross too.
I just left my clothes in the bathroom.
I was just like, God damn it! Why are all these fucking day after pill fucking laying around all over the place, Matt. And I was like, God damn it. Get your shit together.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was all
That's what it was.
Plan B
There it
wrappers
is.
and Kenneth Cole button ups. Yeah, that's pretty much what it was.
Damn, Smith. Bachelor Smith.
Fucking double bag it, you asshole. Come on, your sperm is killing those
Can't be
condoms.
too careful,
Was
T.
it the Mega Touch machine or whatever?
Mega touch.
Sorry.
This is my last one, and this was actually a submission from a fan of ours,
Ooh.
Matt Deathridge. Thank you, good sir.
Hey, Matt.
Yes, thanks, Matt. He'll be so thrilled that we're paying attention to him because he sends me shit all the time on Instagram. But most of it is funny. So thanks, Death. Japanese steakhouse in Florida gets shut down for having meth in their soy sauce. Have you guys heard about this?
No, but
no.
I'm booking a ticket right now.
Yeah, talking about being ahead of the curve. Holy shit! Who are these fucking innovators?
So it's like what is it called? Nico Japanese Sushi Bar. In where is it? Pace, Florida.
Okay.
Have you guys ever been to Pace?
I don't think so.
So, very long story short, apparently there's a disgruntled, worker, and he was pissed off, obviously doing a little meth on the side. And some of the now ex-employees, because I guess this place is shut down since then. The poor family that owned it for over 20 years made a social media post saying like how social media basically like caused them to shut down.
Oh no!
Because there were multiple people that got sick off of going to it. They all of them had the soy sauce. They did a little investigating. Turns out somebody had tampered with the soy sauce and put meth in the soy sauce, and they think it was this disgruntled employee. So. I don't know what's happening to this guy. Stay tuned.
Do you think after a while you would just you're like, God damn, that Chinese buffet was really good. And you're like, well, right, I know. Like, we need to go back to that Chinese buffet. And I wonder, I'm just, and then I just.
My first thought was, if it is Japanese takeout, they'd be like, throw a shrimp in my mouth. Throw another one in my mouth. Throw another one in my mouth. Get that shrimp in my mouth. Come on. I can do 15 in a row. Come on. Maybe not.
That would be fun. I obviously feel terrible for the family that
I do too. That fucking sucks. And whoever did that is a real piece of shit. Right. So you know what?
Right.
Well, at least
guy.
To be fair, at least he didn't put it up in their bathroom like most people in Florida do. Put the lab up.
He wasn't growing it there too. Oh boy.
What Florida. Is the deal with Florida?
Florida, I know.
Jesus. All right, guys, let's do some plugs.
Yeah.
You, the ice cream manufacturer. You, the frozen food distributor. And you, the food retailer. Stand today in the midst of a selling revolution. For today, you're in a merchandising era of self-service, where display and accessibility are the key to successful merchandising. Yes, today's problem is merchandising. To sell in high volume for high profits, frozen products are impulse items, and impulse buying is primarily an emotional decision.
Oh, the timpani. Okay, well, I had some surgery, so I've been sitting down and watching a lot of bullshit lately. So I've pruned my list. Went and saw Asteroid City in the theater.
Yeah.
Probably my favorite movie he's ever done.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
I really liked it. It was
wow.
It was reminiscent of Rushmore. Rushmore has
big time.
Yeah, Rushmore has some issues with the storytelling, but this was next level. So just high five to him. And you were right, Dawson. Fantastic movie. Yeah, like really good.
Jason Schwartzman. I mean, he is like, this is
I mean,
I don't know.
I
I
don't know.
loved it for
I
him.
don't know if he would even have a career outside of like.
He wouldn't. If
I,
it wasn't for Wes Anderson, I'll say it, like, he wouldn't.
I mean,
Rushmore
he was in
really
that.
put him on the map.
Oh yeah, and I mean he did that show Bored to Death on HBO. I don't know if you ever watched that.
Yep,
It
which was
wasn't.
great.
Yeah, it was fine, but I mean, anyway, Asteroid City was really good. What was really funny was when I was sitting next to. I mean, I laughed a lot during the movie. There's a lot of
Yeah, hell yeah. It was
funny
very funny.
things. This guy
Yeah.
sitting next to me he fucking hated every second of it. I could just tell, like he's
Oh,
like,
there are a lot of, yeah, haters
like
of it.
just some
Yeah.
people. He was like his girlfriend wanted to go see it or his wife wanted to go see it, and I could just tell he fucking hated it. He didn't laugh. He didn't do anything. Anyway, highly recommend it. Should see it in the theater just because of
Yes.
the way that they changed they changed the perspective of the camera angles, and it really works in a theater setting. So
Yep.
high five. Um, I saw the Indiana Jones movie. Uh, I will say this, and so I'm a little biased, but Indiana Jones is my favorite movie uh, series. I not Star Wars, not. I'm going to take Marvel off the table because that should have never happened in my lifetime. The fact that it did is amazing. So, I mean, I would call that more of a miracle than or a series.
Yeah.
But and I love all the Marvel stuff. I must admit, but Indiana, I really liked Indiana Jones. I thought Phoebe Waller
Bridges.
Bridges was great. They had the remaining few people that were still alive from the previous
I know.
movies,
I
and
love that.
and um, and it was.
The ending killed me.
Oh yeah,
Killed me.
yeah. I mean, it was.
Oh,
Oh yeah, the ending was just awesome, and it was.
yeah.
I mean, I was like quoting along with it because it was so. Now we watched all four of the previous episodes before we went and saw it in the theater, and
Nice.
I just really, really, really liked it. It's probably not the best Indiana Jones movie, but it's certainly up there. And I really so highly recommend see Indiana Jones. Um,
Yep.
so anyway, and then we started watching The Bear during the first season. We both liked it, but we both got distracted. So we watched season one and season two over the last week or so, and it's excellent. It's really good.
Yeah.
Cast is
Brilliant.
great,
Love it.
well
Yep.
written. I will say, I was telling Beth when we were watching it, I was like, whoever the music director is
Oh,
on the show,
fantastic.
he's spot
Oh,
on.
the
Oh,
music is
the music is.
perfect. Yeah,
And
as
and
with
then,
like pretty much everything with that show, it's just they
Yeah.
just nail everything so
and,
Yeah.
goddamn well.
You're so right.
and
Yeah.
and so like there was this wonderful moment where like they asked one of the side characters to keep distracting, basically like a guy who's there to do some sort of inspection, and he literally is talking about the best replacement songs versus the best replacement album, and
Yeah.
I was like. I was laughing so hard. I was like, he's not wrong. He knows exactly what he's talking about. Like it was and so I was so tickled, like really, and then they did use the replacements. I mean, they used the shins. They used, I mean, just
Yeah,
excellent. A lot of REM stuff that really
Love
fit the
REM.
stuff. Yeah, just.
It's perfect.
But
Yeah.
anyway, that I shouldn't just focus on the music. The acting is fantastic. The writing is pretty good. It's very good. It's a little. Uh, I don't want to. Yeah, I don't know. It's. I like that they did interstitial stuff this year where they would focus on one character at a time, and doing stuff like that.
I think it's cool what they did in the first season was just focusing on the kitchen,
The
like
kitchen,
what's
right?
happening at the restaurant.
But
yeah,
And then now, second season, they've expanded into the characters
yeah,
and what's going on in their lives. And I think they did it in a way where it's like, because you know how second seasons like can fall fucking flat.
yeah, oh, yeah,
They just keep climbing. Like the second season, I felt almost
that's a
I would
great
say is
point.
better
Yeah,
than the first.
yeah.
oh yeah.
Yeah,
No, I would agree. Yeah, because I mean, yeah. So it was quite good. I was very impressed.
yeah.
So anyway, you should watch The Bear. It's an easy watch.
Duh, bear.
Oh god, yeah, you'll get through it. I mean, episodes are what, like 25 minutes a
Well,
pop, and you will.
I think
It's
one
just
of them was like 55 minutes, but everything else, like some of them were like 22 minutes long.
yeah, they're quick.
Yeah,
They would
Yeah,
just do like this. They got to the point in the story where they could stop and they didn't fucking do any other bullshit. They just went to the next episode, which was
yeah.
great.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
and that is actually the future of streaming, and they can take advantage of that. And this one of the best shows I've seen where they actually do that. They don't have any aspirations to put this into syndication. This is just
Totally.
how it
They're like,
goes.
here it is.
Yeah.
Yep. I love it.
And my final plug is the new season of the marvelous Miss Maisel show. You guys have both watched Gilmore Girls. Same people that did Gilmore
Yes.
Girls did Miss Maisel.
I prefer Gilmore Girls to Miss Maisel. Just saying.
I can't even get Beth to watch Gilmore Girls, but that's another story. But like the thing with Miss Maisel is that this last season, no one wrote anything about it, so I was afraid to start watching it because no one was like they did a great job, they wrapped it up and blah blah blah. Had no
right.
Yeah.
idea, but I will say that they are wrapping it up, and they're doing a pretty good job. So we have one episode left, so I haven't seen the end. I can't say, but if you like Gilmore Girls, you absolutely have to watch Marvelous Miss Maisel. It's just fantastic. So
Yeah.
it's that show is funny, and both the lead actresses got nominated for Emmys this year. So which
That's good.
I hope they get that. They also cast the lead Rachel Bronson, I think her name is. She's been cast as Lois Lane in the new Superman movie. I think she's an excellent choice for it.
Did just out of curiosity, did Poker Face
It
get
did.
nominated for stuff? Okay, all right.
It did. Poker Face is
Oh, good. Okay.
That was
Yeah.
one of my stronger
yeah.
shows, I think, of the last year. So I was curious to see.
it
If they
was
did.
oh yeah, no. I don't remember. I got an email from Peacock. You know, and they what did they say?
The cock emailed you.
The
Yeah.
cack, straight from the cack.
It was
Cash.
Poker Face was it had Poker Face has 4 Emmy nominations: Outstanding Lead Actress,
Okay.
Outstanding Guest
Good for her.
Actress, Outstanding Guest Actress Judith Light. Do you remember that episode?
Oh yes, yeah.
That was good. Plus nominations for production design and stunt coordination. So
Okay.
it didn't get the show. Again, it probably would have been nominated. Well, it would have been nominated for a comedy series, which again, I mean, it's kind of funny.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
but I'll leave that to the history. So those are my
Okay.
plugs. Those are my plugs.
Very good. I did
Very
not
nice.
have many, so I'm hoping Dawson supplements my. But anyway,
I feel like we're gonna have one.
yeah,
awesome.
I'm just gonna go ahead and leave that to you. I watched Blackberry. I enjoyed it. I'm gonna let Dawson talk more about it. It was an excellent film.
What's
It
that
is
on?
good.
I
So
thought.
I'm gonna- yeah,
It was
I agree.
on. I don't remember. I obtained it through.
It was on Apple.
Yeah, I
No,
think it is
we
on-
had to rent it.
I think I obtained it
we
through
rented it.
illicit means. But
Okay, I mean Tetris is on Apple.
Apple.
So,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tetris is on Apple. I think BlackBerry, we rented it.
okay.
for
Yes,
iTunes.
yeah, I think it's.
I'm
from-
excited
and
to see it.
It's
It
not
looks
like an
good.
expensive one. I think it's like one of those.
Yeah, it was
It's
like
$5.
$3,
Yeah.
$3 $4 or something.
Really
yeah.
good if you're interested. Like,
Yeah.
I love these tech movies. Like, I love the fact that they've
Yeah,
made all these
I do
nerd
too.
movies for me and Dawson apparently. But
Yep.
I was like, holy shit, they made a movie about REM. Yeah, it's the only other one I really had, which I'm super excited about, and I didn't even know this was happening, and I love when like these TV series are a surprise. Justified, City
Oh, it's back,
Primeval.
yeah.
They are bringing
Oh,
Justified back
fuck. That's cool.
for at least a limited run.
Okay.
And so I believe it starts on the 18th. Yeah, July 18th is when the premiere starts. I actually been wanting to rewatch the series and talk Kathy into rewatching it with me. So we're one of my all-time favorite series. It really is a good TV show. I think it was originally on FX.
It was on FX.
Probably came out in like, I don't know, 2012, 2013. It's been off the air for 4 or 5 years.
It, but
It's really good. It's kind of a, I don't know, it's like a mystery. Like it's kind of a whodunit every episode, but it's like takes place in rural Kentucky. And it's a very engaging television show, which I rather enjoy. I recommend it to others.
Dig
to
it.
Enjoy. But yeah, no, really looking forward to that. And then Oppenheimer, obviously, want to go see that on IMAX.
yeah, that looks all. Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
I think you
I
have-
want to go this weekend.
I
Oh.
want to see if we can get tickets because I love like
I feel like it's already sold out.
I
and
love
don't
like
know.
because he legit like shot it on IMAX and like if
Yeah,
you don't understand like what like that means
a good
like
point.
IMAX. I think I saw like a Twitter photo or something that showed like the reel, and it was like this is like the 400-pound Oppenheimer
Yeah.
like test print or whatever. But it's like
Mhm.
not only because like IMAX cameras. So basically, IMAX. I think if you think of like a 35 millimeter negative, I believe it's 4 times that negative resolution. So it's like think 4 times of what a 35 millimeter. That's what they're running through the camera when they show. So not only to like give the middle finger to digital, but then to shoot a legit on IMAX. It's just
Yeah.
such
On
a cool
IMAX
thing.
and no CGI is what
Yes,
Thomas
It's
was
all
and
saying.
that's which.
all
Yeah.
practical shots. Yeah.
That's
So
amazing.
God bless these directors with their silly little rules. I love it. I'm just
I
like,
love
nope,
it.
I'm
Yeah.
shooting this the expensive
I'm
way.
fucking into
Because I'm
it.
sure it
Yeah.
probably costs like, probably
so much money.
tens of millions more to shoot it.
Shitload of money.
So like, well, you're
Yeah.
Christopher Nolan, and we still don't understand half your movies. So yes, of course you can. $40 million to make another movie we don't really understand. I love it.
You know what's a bummer is that it personally a bummer for me is that Nope was shot entirely on IMAX, and I never saw it in the IMAX theater.
You know what?
Oh,
So just
fuck.
as an, if I have an
I didn't
unplug, I'm
either.
going to slip in an unplug. Kathy and I watched Nope. Did not like it.
Really?
Both of us did not like it. It reminded me
shit.
of when M. Night Shyamalan started misstepping and just making mysterious. Oh, that's mysterious. Yeah. So we can fight about this later, but I did
All right.
not like that movie. I
Wow.
just thought it was. I love
Tyson
the.
doesn't get pissed very often.
I
but
loved the
just-
last one. I loved, but I just did not.
I have to
pee.
pee. I have to pee too bad to fight about this. But I mean, the
I
thing
made
is,
him need to vacate his senses. Oh no, that's
no.
Uh-oh.
I know. We could talk about it later. I just
He's
maybe
not-
I'll
he's not
rewatch it.
mad.
We just
He's
didn't
not
have.
mad,
We didn't
Smith.
have a.
He's disappointed.
I know.
It's just
I'm
disappointing.
not disappointed.
I'm not mad at you. I'm just disappointed.
Jesus Christ. That sounds like something you would say about the oldest person in the room. Thanks a lot, guys.
Oh, come on.
No, I know, but that's fine. But I mean, like, I am looking forward to seeing Oppenheimer. We're definitely going to go see it. We're definitely. I prefer to see shit in the Dolby theaters personally, but that one, because it's all shot in IMAX.
Because it's native,
gotta
go
Even
see
like
the
the
IMAX
last movie we saw
Yeah,
in IMAX
right.
the airplane movie,
Top Gun.
Top Gun 2, yes. And that was not I don't think
Eagle?
it was natively shot in IMAX. I think it was shot in digital and upscaled IMAX. So it's gonna be like it's like a nerd thing, but I'm like, oh my god, like I'm gonna watch 35 million still photographs, and yes, it's pretty cool.
It is. I mean, well, there's something I won't go to IMAX movies really unless I don't really care unless it is actually shot in IMAX. I mean, I'd rather go see it in the Dolby theater, anything, But if it's shot in all IMAX, then it's going to be gorgeous.
It's
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. We're gonna go see it.
Well,
we'll compare notes.
Done.
we'll
All
talk about it next week.
Is that it?
Okay.
Is that
I have
what?
some plugs.
Oh,
I have
plugs.
a few.
Is
And
that it?
also, my
that it?
unplug is you, Smith, not watching
Uh-oh.
one of my plugs. The fucking Wham documentary, dude.
Oh my god, I totally forgot about the Wham documentary. Which
I will hold my opinions on it until next week, but that is your homework.
Oh no, I've seen it. No, I've seen it.
You saw it?
Oh god, 3 times.
yeah.
Oh yeah. No, I watched it with Kathy and I've seen it twice since then. Yeah. Yeah, that's the one that I
was about
forgot.
to fall out of my chair.
Oh no, I totally forgot about the Wham
shock.
documentary. Yeah, if there were not
so
more
good.
Matthew Smith oriented television available this week, it was the Wham documentary.
The Wham
What
doc
a-
is
did you watch it?
fantastic.
Oh
Yes.
my god, what a glorious wow.
Beautiful.
And what
It was wonderful.
what
we
I
both
what I
loved the shit out of it.
really respected about it was that it just focused on Wham. And it didn't go off into because it sort of mentions Michael he's gonna George doing his solo career, but it doesn't
sprinkles
follow
that
it.
in a little bit, but it really focused on
It really
George
does.
and Andrew, which I appreciated. And I actually have more an appreciation for Andrew too, and what he did for them, but also George in his career.
Yeah, it was really a lot of that I didn't know. I didn't know about the right. I didn't know that they started writing and then it became more about George, and because he's dead now. So he was kind of like, I don't know. He was kind of a prima donna a little bit. Like it's interesting. Like it's an interesting
It is
story to
interesting.
follow.
Yeah.
But I thought it was excellent. I mean, they made a documentary about Wham, so goddamn, I was.
I know.
happy.
Bless you, Netflix. Thank you for that. I love it. I can't wait to watch it again.
It's so
There's
good.
also another documentary, but it's a series. And I don't know. Did you guys ever watch American Gladiators
Oh,
when it was on?
yeah,
I
yeah.
also
No,
watched this. Dawson, you're just like reminding me of all the stuff that I thought.
Muscles and Mayhem. How
Muscles and
fucking
Mayhem.
great was that?
It was
I haven't
Oh
very
my
good.
God.
It
I
is.
fucking loved it.
I want to see that. That looks good.
It wasn't.
Oh, Tice, you're gonna love it. Like Jonas and I were just beaming. It's so
Oh,
good. It's so cool to like see them again and like hear from them now. And yeah. I loved it.
It's a great
Yeah.
little time capsule. Like it's not like it's not really that scandalous or anything, but it's just like
No.
funny to like remember like the early 90s and that point in time where like this is what we were consuming, and like it was kind of amazing
and how
like,
it evolved.
Yeah, it's really
nuts.
because it's like what 5 episodes, I think.
5 episodes.
Yeah, I kind of dug in and I was like, oh shit. Like, but yeah, it was
yeah, nothing shocking. It's like, oh, they did steroids. No shit. Like, yeah.
Right.
We're all aware.
Yeah,
check it out. And then there's also a new series on Amazon Prime called High School, and it's based on Tegan and Sarah's teenage years.
I read about that. Yeah,
fucking love it. I think you guys would both like it. It's really like My So-Called Life, but it's got like obviously lesbian undertones.
Didn't they do a cover of Smashing Pumpkins for that?
They did.
Yeah.
It's so good. Speaking of music directors, I mean, the music in it is fucking great. Like, even like the storylines kind of suck sometimes, and you're just like, oh God, will this episode be over? But then they throw in a Smashing Pumpkins song that you love or a Nirvana song that you haven't heard in a while, and you're like, fuck yeah, all right, I'm in it.
Now, is that show? What season is that show on? Because I think I watched most of
the first season that's on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
But it's getting a lot of buzz from what I've
because it's been out for a while, right? Like it's been out for 6 months or so. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and people are pissed because they haven't announced if they're doing a second season or not.
Yeah,
because
it's a bad time to figure that out.
It's a bad.
Yeah, you're right.
It's gonna be a while if it ever happens.
That sucks. Like that's good. Like there's going to be a bunch of shows that like they're not going to be able to make a decision on in 6 to 9 months, and it's going to be.
They're
like,
not going. And that's the shit part thing is now that the actors are out, even if the scripts are done, they're not going to do anything. You know,
they're not. They're out. Yeah.
Does that mean that like if there was like a movie that was starting shooting, like I mean, all those people are gone, right?
Yeah.
Like I mean, if SAG's on strike,
they're
like,
done. Yeah.
I think something was being developed, and it was almost the new series, the new season of Good Omens. The writing's all done. That's on Amazon Prime. You should watch it, everybody.
Third season, right? Good Omens.
No, it's the second season. But
okay.
they were done with the writing, but they weren't done shooting, and so. So I mean, even stuff that probably could have made it past, just The Wire. Now that the actors are out, you can't do reshoots. And that means one of two things. Either the studios are going to release subpar acting, like some really shitty scenes that aren't that good, or now that the actors are involved, I think they're going to wrap this up pretty fast. I would say. I feel like that's coming. Right. I feel like that's those actors have better lawyers than writers do.
True.
Well, there's just more money involved.
Absolutely.
Overall, there's more money involved, so they're gonna acquiesce eventually, or some studios. I don't know. Bob Iger was saying that they're out of the TV business earlier today, which was interesting. Which is kind of maybe a decent point, because TV's expensive. It's really expensive, and I don't know that it's a winning strategy. So anyway, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll, thank God we'll have many episodes of Wheel of Fortune and I don't know who the hell's hosting Jeopardy.
We'll survive.
We will be okay. God damn it! If we have to read books, we'll get through this goddamn thing.
Not
read to us.
Not to plug Roku again, but there's an entire channel.
Oh Jesus! I got one more plug. My stepbrother's pop punk band is going to be playing in Hayes. They're called Stay the Course. They're playing tomorrow, which is Friday the 14th at Rose Garden. And then they're playing in Denver on Saturday, and we're going
at
Herman's Hideaway. So
that's cool.
to go, guys!
Where's
Yeah.
Where's
You're
the
doing
Rose
it.
Garden in Hayes, Kansas?
It's on old Highway 40.
Is that where the strip club
It's
used
on
to
the
be?
way to the airport. I don't know. I never went to the strip club,
Or went to the
Tyson. I
Peanut?
can't tell
Or
you.
whatever it was fucking called. I don't
Oh,
know.
maybe it is where the Peanut House was. Isn't that what it
That
was
would
called?
make sense.
That's on the other.
Either-
Well, that's on the
yeah.
other side of town, right? So if you're going towards the airport, you'd be going east, right?
Correct.
I don't know.
Also, okay, before we end, I want to play a quick game with the guys
Oh.
called Guess What Show My T-Shirt Is From.
Okay, all right.
Ready?
All right.
Dolly Parton.
Yes.
Oh, is it that new the Dolly about
Oh my
the
God,
woman?
you guys.
About
You want a hint?
9 to 5. No.
And that's all, folks. Thanks for joining. Always a pleasure.
We couldn't even.
God fucking damn
couldn't
it.
even finish the game right. What do we do wrong? It's Dolly Parton.
Guys,
Oh, you got it
you
from.
want a hint?
Karen-
I got it from a show that I know you both have seen with Jason Sudeikis. Actually, my husband got it for my 40th birthday. It was very sweet of him. I made many comments on it. This show stars Jason Sudeikis.
Dolly
Character's
Parton.
name is Trent Krim.
Oh, okay. So it's Ted Lasso.
Oh my God. All right. Well, again,
I haven't
always
seen-
a pleasure.
I always sound like the
Guys.
pilot of
Stand
Ted
up
Lasso.
again.
I
Stand
feel
up
like
again.
you're disappointed
Look
in
at
all
it
of us. I just like. I feel like
A
this
little
game
bit.
is. We've all.
It's the coolest T-shirt ever.
It's
And every
very
time we watched that episode, like I was like, I want that T-shirt, and he remembered it. And now I have another Dolly shirt.
That is very-
I have 4 Dolly Parton shirts. It's fine. I love her.
I'm sorry.
Another Dolly shirt. I'm sorry. Yeah.
We didn't know right off the bat.
Oh,
We
Happy
weren't.
birthday.
We
All
were
right. Well,
referring.
I'm disappointed, and so
Well,
are the
it
listeners. So,
would be abnormal if that weren't the case. The end of
That's
this
true, right?
episode of, and I think we've broken a length record. Actually,
we have definitely broken a length record. My bladder is pissed off. So we gotta go.
Oh, we all got to
gotta
pee.
go.
We all got to pee. Thank you.
All right.
You're still with us.
Always a pleasure.
You should
Bye,
pee too.
guys.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. 3 hours next time.
Jesus Christ. Definitely a record.
1, 2, 3, 4.